Brap. Hello. How you doing? There was there's the sound. I always wait to hear the sound on the YouTube screen and then I mute the tab. That's what that is. Right, 4 people. Well, we've been able to salvage 4 people from the server explosion from the previous part 1 of this attempted stream, midweek chill stream. Hello everybody. Yes, fam. As you can see, the server crashed. I think they're doing a lot of work with the 5G stuff in infrastructure at night. That's what I put it down to because it keeps happening. It might not be, but basically, for anyone who's got StreamYard, there's literally nothing you can do when that happens. You get the little, the screen goes black, and you get the little spinny circle in StreamYard. I know what it means by now. It means there's no connection. Then I went to my preferences, checked, and the IPS or all of it was gone, basically. But my Wi-Fi was good, my end, but the server was gone. So keeps happening, man. It's happened a few times. But if someone was up on the stream with me, like Icon or Wagon, then the stream could have continued while my side of things was gone. It's just the way StreamYard's set up. Who came in the end? Did Brandy turn up by perchance? Did Brandy show up? Because I think she was up for jumping on with me. And if she's up for it, it'd be good to get her on as soon as possible, because if the server goes again, then there'll still be a show. As long as she's willing to sort of hold it down, and she's never done that before, but hopefully, yeah, got stung, zapped. I got stinger, mate. I got zapped. I got stung. I might just add, well, I don't know if yeah, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, because Shooter's not here now, I don't think, but, so I'll say to Icon and Shoot. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, it did that spinny wheel thing again. I thought the server was about to fucking jump off then again. The Icon, you sent me emails. You know I can't access my emails right now, Icon. Either Outlook is out for the count, or it's saying to me, "Check your connection." It's either hacked or there's a connection issue. My Outlook loads for me, but I can't actually access any of the content of my emails. And every time I try and do it, it comes up with the error sort of screen saying, check your connection. So I don't know if that's an Outlook issue or if it's a hacked thing. I've never had my account hacked before. So not to sound like a total LARPer, but you rang? Yes, Dad. So I can't actually access Shooter's email or Icon's last 2 emails. Icon. Nothing I can do about it, mate. Just something screwy going on with that. But I will say to Shooter and Icon, if there's any major message you need to get to me, don't rely on email right now because I can't access the damn thing. So just find a random comment section in one of the videos and get the message to me that way. And if it's not for public consumption, I'll figure it out and private it. And if you want to put a little message at the top, a little fake dud message, and then the reply to get the actual message to me, for now, just do that. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, moving on. But right, where's Brandy? Let me see. Brandy, you in the house, honey? Because I want you to jump up ASAP and possibly, well, depending on where we're at, possibly with Wagon Brett, just in case if the server crashed again, there's still be a show, basically. And Icon maybe as well, depending on how you're set, mate. Hey, you back, Iris? Yes. Wanted to kind of get Brandy on first in an ideal world, but maybe I shouldn't be an idealist when there's all these issues. They are working on the fiber optics also. Maybe that's what it is then, mate. Maybe that's what the deal is. I no doubt they're rolling out the whole new infrastructure for the smart agenda. You know what I mean? Ain't that smart? Hobbs, Hivers B Outlook is also out for me too. Fuck, thank you, man. I was thinking that my account was hacked. Okay, I can get into it, but will not display my new emails. Exactly the same with me. Comes with every time I go into an email, comes with an error message saying check your connection, but I know it's not my connection. Got the same thing, Hobbs. Don't know if it's been reported in the wider media, but that's a major outage like the Facebook outage, that's a big deal, man. That's gonna affect lots of things. They're possibly preparing for the big one, mate, let's say. Cyber pandemic. Make COVID seem like a walk in the park. Klaus Schwab. Okay then. Wow, you didn't plan it? No? Just coincidence? You told us about that? Amazing. Art Matters. Hey, good to see you again, Art Matters. How many? We've got 9 in. Well, too bad. We've lost a few, but they might come back in. We'll see what happens. Just in case you're new here on account of the thumbnail, subscribe to me. I do many sexy thumbnails, especially on a Wednesday. Um, otherwise, it's just us shooting the shit and talking shit midweek for a laugh, and it's a good time. We do get some sexy women's in the chat box though. And I do, if you look at my about section, convoluted dating app, I keep saying, but it is actually working, really. I don't think anyone's proper hooked up yet, but everyone putting in the groundwork. Paradox Fossil's been putting in the work with Sweetly Morbid Bear, and Sweetly Morbid Bear been putting in the work with the chat. She's pretty much described her very long legs to everybody, and it's got everybody rather excited. Michael's putting the work in with Active Shooter and Mr. Hugh. It's all going along very nicely. Actually, Art Matters, big tech outage a few weeks ago. That's right. Could be could be regular thing from now. Well, yeah. That's right, where they're either testing their capabilities or the effect it has on people, or they're transferring all the data across so as to wipe it clean or something. I'm not sure what it all looks like at the end of the day, but yeah, there's something going on with that. Only because Klaus Schwab told us it was going to be the next big thing was going to be a cyber pandemic. So whatever the fuck that shit is. Right, I'm waiting for Brandy, but for some reason Brandy is a no-show. Brandy, where the fuck are you? I'm just gonna open up Messenger and see if she's not there, because she was game for jumping on. So how is everybody this midweek? How are you all doing? Server crash. If you just joined us, it was a server crash. Yet again, there's nothing I can do about it. In fact, sorry, I should always check my volume still working. Yes, I'm a bee. Right, I'm just checking Facebook. Hang on, let me see. See what Brandy's saying. Audio is out. What? Oh, really? Oh, right. That must have been the last stream then. Right. And then Jeff was telling me as well. Oh, Jeff was there. Sorry, Jeff. I didn't get to you. You're frozen, bro. All right. Well, to be fair, Jeff and Brandy were trying to tell me you're frozen, bro, Jeff said. And audio's out. Brandy said, yeah. There's nothing I could do. Server crashed. So thanks for telling me. I do appreciate it, people, a lot. Awesome. When I am king, you will be first against the wall. It's a nice wall, though. I hope you like it. It's no, when I am king, I will, totally kiss your ass. Obviously, we will. Yes, you scratch my back, I will shill you. That's the plan. Art Matters, prob a lot of chat signed out early, Hive. Yeah, especially UK time, mate, as well. I tried to do an earlier one for the UK peeps, so at least I got a bit of one in. Yeah. At least I got a bit of one in. I wanted to do it earlier. 11 seemed to be the best compromise, but hey ho. Right, let me say this. Brandy, you coming? You coming on? Question mark. And also, oh, what the? And Jeff, cheers, bruh. Cheers, bro. Exclamation mark to Jeff. I can only do one thing at a time, so now you get to hear all of my thoughts out loud as I'm literally thinking them. That's all my my whole talking flow is just tell people everything. Don't tell people anything. Tell people everything that is happening in my brain. Right. Anyone got any thoughts of where they want to steer the conversation? Anyone got any particular things that are on their mind this week? Hobbs, have you practiced setting up doing your setup, and have you done any practice streams, and have you got StreamYard? You know, where you at with that, brother? I'm interested. I wonder who the trolley troll thing was that I zapped. I might be able to find out, because whoever it was, if that's true that I actually spanned someone up last time, if that's true, then they won't be showing up here anymore unless they, well, yeah, they'll have to come back without a spanner with a new account by the same name, or we won't see them ever again. So it'd be interesting to sort of figure out who the fuck that troll was, because I reckon it was probably a real troll pretended to be a playful troll, but I don't know. I also don't know. But what better? Shoot first, find out who it was later. That's the rules. Shoot first, find out who you killed later. Well, that's strange. So Brandy must be. Well, all right. It's Wagon Brett. Possibly Wagon Brett isn't back either. Actually, let's see what Hobbs is saying. Hiveless B, none of the above, have been really busy. I do have the equipment now, though. That is the main thing, sir. Right, so you haven't set it up properly yet. I got you. Oh, and then Brandy's just clocked me. Oh, you're back on? Didn't get a notification. Be there shortly. Susan, where'd you key? Okay. Dum, boom. You got any requests? Got any little beatbox requests? Anyone? What song was that? What song was that a very bad version of? Actually, it's the wrong key, but fuck it. When the rain comes, we run and hide our heads. When the rain comes, might as well be dead. When the rain comes. I'm waiting for you to give me input, people, or I will continue to sing. If you do not engage me, I'll just copyright strike myself by singing Beatles songs. Fuck. Yay, Hobbs, good. At last. Hobbs, high-risk speed notifications can take a while sometimes. Yeah, so yeah, me doing an instant stream kind of like that doesn't really suit them. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that is it, to be fair. I have been given very short notice on streams recently. I know. Good point. Art Matters, looking forward to new Mac Hiveless. Yes, very much Art Matters. I haven't ordered it yet because, like I explained yesterday, I had to set up internet banking just to do a one-time transfer of that amount of money to Apple. Tim Cook requires only the best security when it comes to people making slave payments for their technology that into a from a well, essentially a system where they ought to have maybe perhaps feasibly already earned the right to have access to it. But then again, I am not a communist or a socialist in that regard. But there's an argument. There is an argument for something along those lines. But anyway, I don't actually hold that belief. I don't know why I just represented it as a belief, but why not? Give me free things now, Silicon Valley. Fuck you. But yeah. So I'll get it as soon as I can get this dongle thingy, because I don't have a smartphone to verify. And I accidentally used the word authenticate, but it's authenticate. I confused myself the other day. Authenticate, that's the one. Oh yeah. So I need this dongle thing to authenticate my internet banking thingy. Anyway, Art Matters. My first Mac was a Performer in '95. No way. Well, You were on it way before me, mate. Let me just check. Is this working? I'm a bee. Join the Bee Masons, not the Freemasons. Strictly heterosexual initiations. Well, my first one was like 2008, I think, something like that. And it's the one I'm on currently. And it's the 14-inch MacBook Pro. It's been a trooper. It's done me 12 years or whatever it is, roughly. But yeah, it's we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, I need a new one. In fact, look, I think I showed you this last stream, didn't I? There it is. That's what I'll be using. Live streamer cam 513. It's not as shit as it might even look. It's actually a good, really good, expensive 150 quid's worth of the best. It's the best you're going to get, that. Before a mirrorless camera. There you go. A really good graphics interface as well and stuff. So I look forward to getting that going. Can't do it with my current Mac. Hasn't got the spec. But with the new M1 chips in a new MacBook Pro, that thing's going to be a beast. And I'm also going to get Final Cut Pro and Logic pre-installed on there. So I should be getting that through. At this rate, it's going to be more around Christmas time, to be fair, which is a drag. But basically, just pre or around the same time as or post Christmas is going to be not Boomer audio, not Boomer visual. Although the audio is not terrible in this case, but I think I can improve on it. It's going to be amazing. That's thank you, Connor. Nice to see you, Big Fun Non. How you doing? What is that for? What is it for? B blocked. B is getting a B blocker. It's like beta blockers, but it's what Silicon Valley likes to do with 5G against pollinators. What you got? Hang on. What you got against pollinators? We make the world work. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have any food. Meh. Nemo. Folks, what's that saying? Weltgeist dropped another Schopenhauer vid. Feel free to check it out. Well, you can post it if you want to, mate. Post a link to that if you want to, Nemo. Thanks. Hobbs, camera looks very cool. It's very cool, dude. It's the best you're ever going to get. Really. Art Matters. Old beige box computers were so slow, getting nostalgic. Well, this MacBook now, after not properly wiping it before getting El Capitan like a few years ago, which is what I'm still running, by the way. It's so old and crap now that it's just super slow. Like this, I'm not getting the performance out of it that I should be getting. And I know you could get those little dongles that you fit in there and like a little hard drive, replace the hard drive with USB dongly thingy. Be happy. Great advice, Paradox Fossils. If only it were that easy. Yes, if only that easy. Brandy's here. Good. Saggy, poor midweek chill stream, part 2, Revenge of the Sniff. Exactly. Revenge of the Sniff. It's how dare you stifle the cokehead while he's trying to start a new YouTube's career. This is Revenge of the Sniff against Silicon Valley. His Silicon Valley overlords. Right, Brandy's here. Brandy, I'm going to give you a link. This link is for Brandy and Brandy only. Although I will actually get, if Icon actually shows up, I might like to get Icon on with Brandy too and Wagon Breath too. But for now, it'd be good to just get Brandy on at least. So Brandy, this is for you, honey, this link. All right. And honey, just be prepared. You might have to hold the fort down if my server goes again. Not my server, rather. Virgin's servers. So get up there with Hylas. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Hobbs, have used Final Cut Pro, Logic, and Dragon Frame. Don't know what Dragon Frame is. When I worked on an animation project a couple of years ago, each are amazing. Although at home I use a Windows laptop. Right. I just couldn't bear to use a Windows laptop. It's not designed with human, I don't know, minds in mind. It's just not designed for humans. Windows. It's just there's no love gone into it for me. It's all after the fact that they've sort of improved the system. You know, it's the bare minimum. I much prefer the spirit that of the design for Mac. To be fair, mate, never liked Windows as a company, and I resent having to use a Microsoft company for one of my emails. I know I could just change it, but also I resent having to do more work and having to do that. It's not my fault they're corrupt and scum. Allegedly, allegedly. Don't want to get done for defamation. Allegedly, I've heard people have told me personally. It's just what I've heard. Right. That's just me talking out of shit, by the way. I'm just practiced in talking out of shit. That's pretty much what I do. I've learned it now. I just tell you everything that I'm actually thinking in real time, and you guys keep showing up. What is wrong with you? Are your lives that shit that you have to come and hear me think out loud? My God, I feel sorry for you, you peasants. Is this the best thing you could do with your existence? Get suckered in by a sexy thumbnail and then talk to a guy from the Midlands about utter shit and how the world's imploding and gonna end and his silly um, delusions of grandeur about him going head to head with Bill Gates. In fact, I should go toe to toe with Bill Gates in a dance off. Me and Bill Gates should have a dance off on Strictly. Can we just do that instead? I mean, rather than all the carnage, could we just do that? I reckon I'm at least a better dancer than Bill Gates. I reckon if it came down to that and not just loads of influence and money and whatever, I could probably win that battle. Art Matters, Incredimail was good, but no more. Never heard of that. What about Proton Mail? What do you think of Proton Mail? I know Veritas uses Proton Mail. I know that was a preferred go-to by a lot of sort of alt techie minded folk. Paradox Fossils, we are out of our minds. You are absolutely out of your minds. I mean, is this the best you could do? I don't know why you people keep coming back. I mean, I'm just talking the same shit every single time. Don't know if you noticed. It's a total grift. Oh shit, Messenger. Sorry, my bad. You know what? Every time I try and post a link there for Brandy, it doesn't damn well work. Sorry, Brandy. Okay, I'll put it in Messenger just for Brandy. Hang on. I forgot, honey. My bad. My bad. What beat? Oh. There you go, Brandy. I've sent it you in Messenger in theory, so hopefully that goes through. Hopefully it goes through. Let me know, hon. Okay. So, how's everyone else's lives doing? Anyone got any ideas for? Actually, I should ask Art Matters. Art Matters. What are your ideas about what we need to do as part of the pushback? What do you think is missing in the movement, loosely speaking? What needs to happen? Or have you got any ideas around what this space could become? What are your thoughts on it? What are your instincts? I'm probably just exactly like you, Art Matters, but I chose to reflexively start a YouTube channel and see where it goes, kind of thing, because I see the writing on the wall. I know what's going on. Paradox Fossils. Oh, yeah, I have a Proton Mail. I forgot about that. Yeah, I've got a few different ones, to be fair, knocking around, but I sort of forget where they are and what they are. Brandy, of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. Who thought that? Who is thinking that? If you have no mind, who thought that? Huh? Michael Hayward, B would like to go head to head with Bill Gates. Sword fight. I reckon I could probably beat him in a sword fight. Although if I had all that time on my hands, I'd probably learn to fence, to be fair. So maybe not. We'll see. Brandy's here. Brandy, where's your little picture? Oh, well, I'll get her up anyway. Sod it. Where's your picture gone, Brandy?
I can see my picture.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Kind of, yeah. Where's your picture gone, my dear? Not that it matters. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Are you there?
My picture's there.
Are you there, honey?
Is that better?
Well, the picture's not there, but that's fine. I mean, yeah. Hello. How you doing?
I see my picture.
You're seeing the picture. Oh, let me look on. Oh, I'm not then. Oh no, it's not coming through on YouTube either. Yeah, I just checked.
Don't you go disappear.
Okay.
All is well in the land.
What the?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're probably coming in a little hot. To be fair, you're probably a little loud, honey. But the sound's good though. The sound is good. Just back off the phone a little bit or something.
Is that better?
So, yeah, that's better. How you doing, hon? What you up to?
Not much. Kids are still awake, so it's probably noisy.
I can't hear anything at the moment. To be fair,
The
that sounded
just
like the ex.
teeth.
Oh, okay. That sounded like the ex guy.
That's my son. He's gaming at the
Oh
moment.
right. Oh, he's got. Oh, his balls dropped. Then that's good to
Yeah.
know. um, as in he's got a deep voice. People. Hobbs. Hi, Michael Hayward. Loved the Brandon reference. Oh, did you see that yesterday? By the way, the "Let's Go Brandy" by fake Wagon Breath, fake Justin Bieber. Haha.
That was active shooter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very funny. I actually zapped. Remember you mentioned a troll, like the old troll toys, to me the other day.
Yeah, they have like little gems as belly buttons and spiky neon hair.
Right. Did you know that I zapped a toy troll out of the chat earlier?
No.
Well, one came in saying, "Thanks for giving me a wrench last time." And it could have been just a blag and it could be one of the regulars. But he said, "Thanks for giving me a wrench last time." And that could just be a thought. It could have been shooter designed to just make me paranoid. Or it could be actually that I modded a troll and they were taking full advantage of the tomfoolery that we get up to in our whole sock account crazy chat box. So I zapped them. I shot them dead, um, right in the face, and I'll be interested to see who doesn't show up anymore, or if someone comes crawling back with a new account by the same old name, with no mod. So it'll be interesting to see who the fuck that was.
Well,
So
who's
there you go.
missing tonight?
Well, I'm not going to mention anything because I've got my thoughts and suspicions. But I don't want to say it if I'm wrong. So I don't
Don't say
know. In truth,
I'll figure it out too.
yeah. Exactly.
Hi,
So what do
everybody.
you think of Ruthless then, Brandy? Because I was, what you saying?
I was just saying hi to everybody. I didn't really say hi in chat, so just saying hi.
Right. Oh look, Art Matters is saying, "Are you you are a kindred spirit, Hiveless, and chat, no doubt. I'll give it some thought. Truth seekers and freedom fighters unite. Good man, absolutely, sir. Well, I'm probably just like you, except I just got up on this thing and started to put this thing together. Yeah, exactly. But you know, I'm willing to become whatever is necessary. A super rich tech CEO overlord if I need to. Just I need more subscribers first. No, go on then, Brandy. Oh right, what Sagipore? I can see Brandy's picture. It's a photo. It's a polo mint with a little head in the middle. Yes, exactly. Yes.
It's a tree that looks like an eyeball, and the center is actually shaped like a heart.
Um. No, but we can't see your picture, honey. That I've told you that already. It's not coming through.
I don't know why. I can see it.
Right. Well, you are the only one. Unfortunately, I might just do this. Right, Ruthless. Since you're in, here you go. You get all your wishes come true because you were fucking around the other day. You moron. You get to not be a moderator anymore, Ruthless, which will mean one of several things. Let me explain it to you. Since you failed to appreciate the nuances as to why I had made you a mod against your will, it means that now we might get any old Ruthless in the chat, and I won't be able to verify that they're actually you, which means that the new grift is going to be fake being Ruthless, wherein I either have to accept that every Ruthless that comes in might not be you, which is fine, and it could lead to its own whole humor vector, its own comedy vector, or I'll just ban you and know that I don't have to do that shit because it was pretty much mod you or ban you. But I'm doing this just for you, even though you talk utter smack about me and none of it's true. So you better fucking rein it in, motherfucker, because I'm close. I'm close to saying I'm done being patient with this problem child. And I've been patient, mate, at the end of the day. And it's not about making you behave in fact, it is about making you behave, but it's not about me wanting sycophants around me. It's about what this space needs to achieve. It's not going to necessarily be helped by you inventing a character and a straw man of me and it's talking shit about me in real time on a fucking live. So sort it out, sunshine, or you gone. Because this place is very fun and you can have a lot of fun too. And by the way, I might also add, what are you doing banning me on your Facebook accounts? We were having a laugh. Why have you blocked me from both your Facebook accounts? So fucking childish. You can't take a fucking joke, motherfucker. So I reckon we'll see what happens. But there you go, Ruthless. You need to fucking.
Spanking.
You do need a fucking spanking. I'm giving it you
Bend over.
like this. I keep giving him a spanking, then he gets butt hurt, literally, because all it is, and Ruthless, you know what it is? I already said it earlier. You come at me hard, and then when I come back at you hard, you can't handle it, and then you fuck off and start claiming I'm the one coming at you, and then you ban me from your accounts like, all right, Pete, well, whatever, Pete. And then you jump on your little high horse. It's just so annoying. People know what I'm about by now, mate. It's not anything like what you're trying to project, so the old skin swords. Yeah, well, me and Bill Gates going at it with the old skin swords ought to do it. Yeah, I will definitely be able to save the New World Order. Save the New World Order. Destroy the non-spoke order. There you go.
Hi, Hobbs.
Hi.
Aren't you the one that who eats beans on their cheese with their toast? Who was that? Is that you or is that Saggy?
Are you talking to me? I thought you were talking to the chat.
I was talking to both. Saggy said BRB need cheese on toast. Who eats cheese on toast with beans?
Right.
No. Who?
Well, I'm doing it again because you know what it is? Because I'm sort of focusing on Rufus because I'm seeing what the fuck he's saying. All right, I'll start focusing on the chat. And I might say, I need to apologize. You know what I keep doing? I keep getting people up here, and I said it to Brandy earlier, and then I keep focusing on the chat and not focusing on the person. So sorry, Brandy. I'm focusing on you now. What's the question? Tell me a fifth time, and I'll answer it.
Saggy Paul said he needs a cheese on toast sandwich. I said, well, he didn't say sandwich. I said, who's the one that eats the cheese on toast with beans?
Me all day long.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, you gotta have cheese on it. You gotta have cheese on it. Yeah. There's no reason not to have cheese on it at the end of the day. I mean, brown sauce is also good. I already said that. Well, although you didn't know what brown sauce was, did you, Brandy?
I still don't know what the fuck brown sauce is.
It's a sort of vinegary. I don't know, man. Hey, it's a vinegary brown sauce. I don't really know how to put it. I mean, if you don't know what it is, it's hard to explain it, really. Yeah.
What do you call Worcestershire sauce?
Worcester sauce, but although I think it's not spelt that way, or I seem to think it's Worcestershire sauce, but it should be we call it Worcester sauce. I think, although I could have that wrong. That could be just an old childhood mistake that's perpetuated that I never corrected. You know.
I say Worcestershire.
Shire, right?
Yeah,
Well, Worcester's actually quite close to me, relatively speaking. Well, it's about 40 miles down south from me. What's that?
Nothing. I just stubbed my toe.
Oh. Oh, right. You stubbed your toe. By the way, I might also say that it always cuts out for me as well. That's the other problem. So people on the playback, I watch it and you can hear what the other person's saying, but in StreamYard, every other word cuts out for me. So I'm always missing a lot. So that's also why I'm always vacant, but I'm always trying to figure out what the person just said. But anyway, what we got in the chat? What's going on, Brandy? Where are we at? What's the general tenor? Is Ruthless butthurt again? Is he talking utter shit again?
I don't think so.
Off you with you guys. There he is. See, there you go. I laugh my fucking ass with you guys. There you go. He's developed a sense of humor all of a sudden. Well, that's good, isn't it, Ruthless? Take it to the brink of being suicided. You think I can't take jokes? No, I think you've got a brilliant sense of humor until you don't. And I don't really
I still
know.
spank
Honey, say that again. That was horrible. I didn't hear that.
him. I said, can I still spank him?
Right.
Just for fun.
Yeah, you need to spank your Ruthless. Brandy will do it for you from across
Yep.
the pond.
Happily.
Yeah, well, all right, go on then, Ruthless. Actually, Brandy, could you tell Ruthless what the deal is so that he doesn't think it's just me being the overlord trying to be a cult leader? Could you explain to Ruthless, Brandy? I know you don't normally do this because Brandy likes to be the diplomat, but I'm putting Brandy on the spot to say it how it fucking is to Ruthless because he needs to hear it corroborated. And just so you know, Ruthless, Brandy isn't one. Brandy is not a sycophant. She'll tell you her own thoughts. And she might even not support me on this and talk shit that I don't agree with, but I at least have to try because I want the penny to drop with you, Ruthless. I think you've got early onset liver failure. I think you're not thinking clearly. I think you're going insane or something.
Well, it's not talking shit. He just takes you way too seriously most of the time when he shouldn't.
Oh, here you go. Worcestershire. We're told Dusan Cholvad. Worcestershire. Worcestershire is pronounced Worcestershire. Well, in what language? Aren't you Australian? I always thought you were Australian. Well, you looks Russian to me, actually. But Worcestershire, we don't call it Worcestershire here, mate. I know I'm close to Worcestershire. Worcestershire, It's like a U. Oh, I think that's how he's saying it. Worcestershire, right? Worcestershire. Well, that looks like a woo to me, mate. But with a U, I think it would be Worcestershire. But anyway, Brandy, penny for your thoughts on Ruthless. Oh, he's saying it. Oh, look, he's actually Ruthless. Thank you. That's amazing, isn't it? I know it's not you. It's me. Let's not break up. That's hilarious and good. Well, how are you getting your panties in a twist where you actually blocked me on Facebook yesterday, then after the stream when I was only hilarious, mate? Because I'm only coming at you as hard as you coming at me. So you better unfucking block me, at least on your cat's account. What the fuck? And I do hope you appreciate that why that's annoying for me, Ruthless, that I can't mod you because you were zapping people. As funny as it was, you can't be doing that shit, mate. But although anyway, the Enlightened Manx back, right? Well, is that a moot point now, Brandy? Because he's already admitted fault for now. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, until next time.
Until fucking next time. Isn't that what abusers always do? Although I don't think Ruthless is an abuser, but it's a similar kind of fucking. It's a similar pathology a little bit. It's like, I'm sorry, and then you let them back in, then they wreck their house again. It's like, shit. Anyway.
I think he's doing well.
Good. Well, can we have some of your thoughts at least, Brandy? Because I'd at least like to hear it from you a little bit. What's the deal?
In pertaining to Ruthless or what?
Yes, I want Brandy to psychoanalyze Ruthless.
I said I think he takes you too seriously, or he twitched your words into something that you don't actually mean majority of the time.
Respect. All right.
And
there you go, Ruthless.
The whole I like Ruthless. I don't want it to sound like I'm being an asshole to him.
Well, I
But
like
throwing
Ruthless,
a
obviously.
little tantrum and blocking, or throwing a little tantrum and leaving while entertaining, isn't necessary. But
Exactly.
I think he gets to a point where he thinks he can't communicate with you, and then you both kind of shut down. But it's all a
Um,
miscommunication, and
yeah, and I
it,
think what it is
none of it had to happen to begin with.
well, and it's on account of you that it happens at all, Rufus. With all fairness, mate. But I use humor for good, mate. I'm not one of these assholes that tries to hurt people's feelings proper with humor. I'm not one of those people. But if you ever feel like I was coming at you like that, then that's just the British dry fucking thing. My dad was really dry sense of humor, Rufus, and he could be cutting and cruel. And I'm only coming back at you when you're going real fucking hard at me, mate. To be fair, you're going real fucking hard
At
at me,
this
don't
point,
you?
I think he might just be fucking with you altogether, just to see how far he can push you.
In a way, yeah, in a way. But I think psychologically, he is trying to sort of vicariously see that Daddy won't oust him all over again if he pushes it, because he wants to see someone with absolute love. Well, only God has absolute love. I am a faithful servant, but there are limits on account of the fact that I am a limited instrument in this capacity only. But you're going to get about the most grace out of anyone from me. I'll tell you that. So if
Why
I'm
we gotta
fucking
talk about all the serious shit when I'm on here, and everybody else gets on and you just joke around and act stupid?
oh, we'll have some fun then, honey. Now, yeah. What's he say? Let's make a dope deal. That was Teach and Chong. Okay, well, okay then. All right, Brandy. Let's chill then. We're good. All right, I think Ruthless is having a good one. He's feeling
Behaving.
funny all of a sudden. We're good. We're all fine then. All right. Well, let's get into it then, Brandy. You lead. Then what you got? What you thinking? Where are you at? What
Enlightened wants to know your thoughts on the circuit board Earth video.
I shared my thoughts the other day, but you weren't here, so I will share them with you. I will forewarn you there. My review is rather brutal, Mank. It was utter shit. um, I'll tell you what I mean by that. She's a woman who has. She doesn't. I already told you she doesn't have any credibility going in because she doesn't really tell you what her background is or why she should have an opinion on the matter either way. But assuming that she already has a channel all about truth and all that, and she's got faithful following of like 50,000 people, it was very vague information. She never quite showed evidence. None of it made any sense or was coherent, and there was no real case made. I can't even remember what the fuck she was going on about, but I watched the whole thing. I was deeply disappointed, and I'm not convinced that
Well,
all soil.
I don't think she actually put together that series. I just think it's on her channel, right?
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mink.
Well, no, you're thinking of another Michelle. This is Michelle Gibson, presumably. Well, you might be right, actually. Right. This is someone called Michelle Gibson, not that Michelle. And um, it sounds like it was a female's narration, so I have to assume it's the same person in question. But it might not be. It doesn't really. That's not the point, though. To be fair, the point
Oh
is
no,
that
that's not the one I watched. The one I watched was a man.
right. You were cutting out a lot there for me, Brandy. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the whole
I said
thought.
you
But
must be right. The one I watched was a male narration, so I must not
right.
have seen the same one.
On the real Mank, it was not well put together. It dragged. Wasn't particularly impressive, snappy, coherent. There was no real case made. She just sort of talked in and around a few mysteries, like, isn't this weird that this was that and that maybe this could be like, and then she just moved on, and it was just a load of vague bollocks, mate. So at the end of the day, Mank, if you're using that as your go-to, that's not the fucking spearhead, Mank. That is not the fucking spearhead. You're going to do more. And I'll tell you this straight up, man, one man to another man. You're going to do more harm than good touting that as your go-to fucking evidence that there's something wrong with our the cosmology as NASA purports it to be. Straight up refutations of the spinny ball will suffice, Mank. All the woo stuff, and I'll call it woo stuff, all the mad shit to do with all that stuff. I'm not saying it's not even true, but it's so vague that it's not worth touting as your spearhead. You've got to put more people off with that shit, which makes me what do you actually want to achieve, man? Do you actually want to put people off looking at for the truth, or do you want to bring them to the truth? Because that ain't the fucking gateway drug to our earthly realm. All right, do more harm than good with that shit. So I watched it. It's a load of bollocks, and I'm not going to entertain it anymore. So there you go. Soz, mate. Love you, but come on, mate. One truther to another truther. Do you actually want to be impactful and effective, or do you just want to go around speaking French to people and putting them off ever looking? Like, oh, good. I wasn't sure whether or not our realm was we lived in a realm or on a spinny ball thing, but this guy's saying it's a circuit board, so it probably definitely is a spinny ball. Then thank you, bye bye. That's what you're gonna get. So what do you want to achieve, mate? That's the bottom line. Simple. Brandy, penny for your thoughts. Or we can talk about something else. I don't care. I'm just, there you go. Done.
Tell them how you really feel.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's how I really feel. Well, it annoys me, man, if you want to know the truth. What are you doing touting that shit? I mean, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not even saying it's not true. It's like, but it's clearly not fucking convincing. It's clearly not impressive.
Well, I found it informative.
Yeah, but Brandy's pretty down with the woo. Do you know what I mean? Brandy's like off with the fairies, so she's quite happy to have confirmed to her all of her sort of magical mystery tour. But that's not the game I'm in. The game, it has to be essentially approaching the dodgy subject of what NASA's peddling not being what it's cracked up to be. And if you're actually gonna, open minds, then that doesn't serve that purpose. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. But good for you, Brandy, as long as you get to sort of, start
Even
to
as far
ponder.
as like everything being connected and energy traveling by way of that, there's nothing that you found credible in that at all.
Well, like I said, it's not that what she was speculating about isn't possible. That's not what I'm saying. The fact is, it's like me. This format now, this live stream, everyone knows what they're getting. It's a guy speculating about stuff with input from the chat and feeding off each other and stuff. It's clearly speculation. She posits it as if, well, she's not disingenuous. I'm just saying, for all I know, she's using the space to. All she's doing is pondering about stuff, Brandy, for at the length of a documentary. She's just pondering about the possibilities. Isn't it strange that and she's just pondering about how strange things are, and she does it in such a way to beg the question of the viewer, begs the question: is what we've been taught true? I don't think what we've been taught is anywhere near true. Do I think that certain buildings might have had double functions, or certain layouts of certain buildings might have double functions? Maybe. But let me tell you this, man. I'll give you another alternative explanation as to why cathedrals, not cathodes, but cathedrals might look the way they do. The sacred geometry, Mank, is attractive. And so for a long time, we've wanted to decorate our holy buildings with sacred geometry. Doesn't mean that the windows are designed to fucking be sound oscillators and generate electricity. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm telling you that's another alternative explanation, and it would explain why it's haphazard. We all know how. Yeah, could it be an unknown technology, the way they configured those buildings that produced somehow some energy effect? Yes, but also it could be that we were just worshiping sacred geometry in the windows of churches. So, for a truther, for a person that's meant to be having instincts and intuition about truth, to assume the woo stuff before being a scientist, actually putting to the test and being a skeptic about their own thought. Like, you have to at least admit you don't know what she's saying is real, mate. You have to at least admit it's speculation and there are alternative explanations. So if all it's achieving touting that stuff is putting people off looking, then I think you're shooting yourself in the foot, mate. So you know that I believe that well, I don't believe. I refuted the spinny ball. So the spinny ball is out for me. Totally refuted. It's a nonsense. You can't have water stuck to a supersonic spinning ball. But because I've done it the scientific way and refuted it, then I'm on solid ground. I wonder about what we actually live in, the nature of the realm, right? I wonder about it, but I don't know yet. And do I think the Earth is a printed circuit board and buildings are capacitors? No, I don't, mate. No, I don't. And there's no evidence to suggest that all soil and landmass are, you know what I mean? It's totally fucking retarded at the end of the day. So, no, wake up, snap out of it, and get back on the reel. Stop getting sucked into the woo. Back in the real world, please. Right, Brandy, what you saying?
Well, was her purpose of putting that out there to help herself, like, create some discourse and actually talk about it and learn more, or is she putting it out there as like matter of fact information? You got to look at it
No.
from that
She
too.
was very transparent about the way she approached it. She was fine. The way it is, it in and of itself is fine for someone to have produced, to ponder the possibilities. So the way she put it together is fine. I'd say that it wasn't particularly nifty. It was a bit boring the way it was put together. But that's you can't that's her personality. I mean, you can't do anything about that. Fair play to her. But no, but for Mank to be touting it as his spearhead is putting more people off than putting them on to the fact that there's something wrong with NASA, something wrong with the Earth, and something wrong with what they're telling us. So I'm telling one brother to another brother, if he's actually interested in the truth, stop touting that total fucking nonsense. Get on the real, man. And you can be annoyed with me for saying that, man, but you're at least going to get my honest opinion here. You might not have heard it before. In fact, you have heard it, but not like that. You know I'm a brother after the fucking same truth. But that's gonna do that's gonna do. I don't like to call it the movement because it sounds like it's just people, but it's gonna do nothing for the truth. It's not gonna get hug people in, is it? It's gonna put more people off than hug them in. And actually, it's not worth it because it's not even special, good, impressive, or definite. So keep that shit to yourself, mate. That's the woo stuff for the deeply into the stuff into it. But anyway, I'm ranting again, Brandy, but that's the truth of the matter. That's where it's at. I'm right about that.
Hold on.
Right. Anyway, well, I've scared the mank off. I didn't mean to scare you off, Mank, but you know it is true though. Here he is. Right. Brandy, I've got a better circuit board Earth video than that one. Haha. 3 different YouTubers are making videos of the circuit board Earth knowledge. Which not well, anyway, Mank, you know what I've said. You know what I've said, mate. I might start to take it upon myself to curate you now, Mank. So now that I know that that whole stuff doesn't deserve to be the spearhead, I'm going to curate you and skip past all of your circuit board videos from now on. And I'm only going to go with the good stuff. What do you think of that? Is that mean?
Yes.
Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to skirt around the printed circuit board stuff, mate, because it's just if ever there was a psyop to discredit the refutation of the ball Earth, I won't even call it flat Earth because that's not really where it's at. The refutation of the ball. If ever there was a disinfo campaign, it's the circuit board fucking Earth stuff, mate. Wake up, wakey, wakey. And I'm not even saying that there's not something to do with Freemasonry, designs for buildings and energy, but most buildings do not adhere to that shit, to say the least. And it's not worth the damage that it's going to do to what is solid ground, which is the clear refutation of the water stuck to a supersonic spinning ball, mate. And some people think that's woo, but I'm on solid ground with that because it's provable. And you know, it's clear as day. Many different
I
words
don't
that
think that's bad information. I just wouldn't correlate it with trying to prove flat Earth. Because the one I watched was supposed to be to teach you about flat Earth, but everything I watched didn't have anything to do with proving any part of flat Earth. So
yeah, but it inevitably has become conflated as part of the same sort of thing. It's a bit like the all school shootings are, or sorry, all it's the same thing with all sort of those false flag events that they're all necessarily crisis actors. It's the same level of madness that's designed to disrupt the truth movement. if you suggest that all major attacks and things are crisis actors every single time, then there's a whole movement in the truth thing that thinks that it's all crisis actors, that it's all faked. That's designed to discredit the movement. The circuit board Earth is also designed to discredit the movement. I'm just telling you, man. You want to know the real from one brother to another? I'm trying to snap you out of it. Bish bash bosh, what you do? Come on. Sagapur, listen, NASA speak the truth. The fact they use filters on their space pictures and artist impressions is no reason to disbelieve them. Very good, Sagapur, exactly. Right on, man. That's the solid stuff. It's by the way, Connor, I watched your NASA video, Connor. You know, of the all little pull strings and harnesses for the space station. You watch that video that Connor dropped, and I'll start to get it to hand so I can start to drop it. Watch that, and there's no way you'll come out of that thinking the space station is real. There's no way you could reasonably think that it's real. Hello, chessboard. How you doing, mate? Oh, Wagon Brett's here. All right. Well, Wagon Brett. Well, let's get Wagon Brett done, and actually, let's Well, go on, Brandy. Let's actually get into it. Let's talk some shit. I keep saying that, but you keep disappearing.
I'm here. You never stop talking.
There's that too. Go on then. Well, talk to me.
Bring Wagon on.
Right. Well, there you go. So you ain't got shit to say. Oh, I don't mind being double teamed by the Jersey girls. Fine. And by the way, sorry if I sound a bit moody, but it's a bit ridiculous to me.
Have you slept yet?
Yeah, no, I did sleep only 4 hours though. But I was trying to get my sleep back in. But well, sorry, man, to be brutal. Actually, I'm not sorry, but you know, come on, man, come on now. I'm not into the woo. Like, oh, I'm getting off on one again. Sorry, I'm going to get back into it. I'm not all about the woo. I'm actually about the truth. I actually want to know the truth. There's a whole part of the truth that wants to be into the escape shit. They want to escape into a fantasy reality. That to me is ridiculous. To be honest, I'm not about that. The Enlightened Man. It's funny that the videos are the most watched videos of FE videos. The Tartarian YouTubers say that the buildings are component energy devices and geometric buildings created the sound energy. I'm not even saying that certain configurations of buildings might not have certain properties that we don't fully appreciate at this point. I'm not saying that, man, but I am at least saying that it's not expedient. It's not expedient or pragmatic or whatever, or rather, it's not pragmatic to get the bigger point across to be pushing that stuff. I think a pragmatist would see what I'm saying on that point alone. If that's, and I could leave it there, Mank. So if you want to be effective, don't drop those videos for number one, unless you know that it's with the people that know what's up, and then in which case I get it, and that's fair enough. But also couch it in a way so as that you don't pretend to know it's true, mate, because there's no way you know it's true because it looks very unlikely. I mean, can you recreate? Let me put it this way, man. Until someone recreates a little mini city that works with the energy, the free energy, with buildings configured in a particular way, or a star fort, until someone actually builds a star fort and shows you exactly how it's meant to work, then it really is just speculation. And there might be other reasons why people chose to build things in those configurations. Like I said, it could just be that we were worshipping sacred geometry, that we sort of fancied ourselves as sort of, maybe we had more of a relationship with the above, the divine, and we wanted to imprint, like we do now. We like to imprint that our God nature onto things, and we do a poor job at it because we don't really know how sacred geometry works, and yet we insist on, you know, putting it on our album covers even though we don't quite understand it. So a star fort could just be us misunderstanding sacred geometry, and it's our ode to fucking the cosmos. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't prove anything, mate. It doesn't prove shit. Anyway. All right, I'm ranting. I'm sorry, but fucking hell, man.
You're fine.
Good. All right. Well, did I? Oh yeah. Well, Wagon. The links in the box for Wagon Brett if she wants to jump on. Right, Brandy. Tell us a story. I'm having some tea. I'm gonna shut up and you're gonna talk. That's it.
I'm having tea too.
Too fucking bad. Your turn.
Tell you a story. What kind of story? If I talk about fairies and Bigfoot and little people, you're going to tell me I'm lost in my fantasy land. And
Yes, I fucking am. Well, no,
You
not
know, they've
definitely, by the way.
bones and old bodies of little people. They are real.
Well, I've seen evidence that there might be giants. I don't know if it's legit, but I've seen evidence there might be giant bones. I don't know about mini people bones.
There are many people bones, and there's many
We-
fairy bones.
I know, but you got to remember though, Brandy, that sort of shit would be fakeable. So, what sort of rigorous testing have they been through? Probably none. You could fake that shit.
Man, you're a tough cookie to crack, huh?
Yes, and we all should have that threshold. I mean, why is it? I tell you what, if you don't put your threshold up there, then you're not interested in the truth. You're interested in
Because
fantasy. That's my point.
you're perceiving me as someone who fucking goes out in the woods and envisions these things as opposed to actually seeing them in real life with my own eyes.
I've seen some of your photos that you saw faces in some plants, and that's just your imagination running wild, honey. That's not a thing that was there.
You've seen some photos.
Yes, obviously. My God. I'm not saying it's not sweet and lovely, and I'm not saying that you're not seeing the extension of your inner beauty out there in the cosmos or an aspect of yourself reflected back. I'm not also saying there's no such thing as, what would you call it again? Phenomenal beings or whatever the name was.
Interdimensional.
Yeah, I'm not even saying there's no such. Well, that wasn't the term, but I'm not even saying there's no such thing as that. But I'm saying there's very little evidence of it. There's nothing that's convincing, not to someone who's got a threshold in a reasonable place at least, and therefore anyone who falls for that shit outright. I'm not saying that's open-minded to it. That's fine. But anyone who's hook, line, and sinker convinced is on a LARP. And they're in a fantasy
I'm
because
convinced
they want an
I have
escape.
video of them moving and looking and doing things.
Well, show it me, because I bet you I could point out why it's not that.
You don't think I've tried to do that myself?
Well, if you really had it and it was really there, then I'd imagine it would have, captured everyone's imagination the first time anyone's ever filmed something that couldn't be explained away by something else. You know what I mean? It's like,
Do you know how many people don't release
dunno.
such things because of people like you?
yeah, and
Like, who wants to deal with that?
yeah, but that's a cop out, honey. I don't buy it. Thank God for people like
Absolutely
me.
not a cop out that I don't invite other negative shit into my space.
How is it negative shit pointing out what's fucking reality?
You have your reality, I have mine. You don't want to believe in it, you don't have to.
It's not
But I
about
don't
not
need-
wanting to believe. Hey,
I don't
even
need
if
to
I
put
wanted,
what I don't want to put out there for millions of people to come over to my channel and make comments that I don't need to accept, because at the end of the day, that opinion doesn't matter to me.
there you go. You're more interested in believing what you want to believe than actually having it verified either way.
It's
You
been
don't wanna hear-
verified. I'm an
It's not
actual
be-
living physical person. I know what I've seen. I know what I've witnessed.
But
I know what
that's
I've done.
But you do understand how the mind works, right? The mind is awesome.
We've already had this conversation.
Yes, the imagination when it runs wild is brilliant at
Stop
bringing
using
things
that
to
word
life.
with me, please.
What's wrong with that? Because I mean, when I take mushrooms, it looks like the curtains are moving. The mind's really fucking nifty at bringing things to life. That's what the imagination can do. So actually, it's an
Yes, but
escape
you're
into the
speaking
imagination.
to a person who is very well aware of that.
Well, I don't know if I can buy that if you've already bought in to what seem to be like essentially daylight hallucinations, because there's no evidence to really back up that it's a legitimate phenomena. It's more likely, don't you admit it's, at least if you're about the truth and not about believing it, or no matter what, because you almost seems to want to believe it no matter what. To me, if you want, I'm just holding a mirror up to you, Brandy. I'm just holding a mirror up to you. You know, that you'd invite criticism, you'd invite the counterpoint, but you seem to be quite happy enough, having a nice time, and good for you. But I'm not into people having a nice time believing a lie. Although, you know, I'm not about that. I've never felt that the lie was better than the cold, hard truth. You know what I mean? So I'm not about that.
Okay. You don't need to be about that.
Right. Well, look. If you find your happiness rooted in reality, then, in fact, then, it's always there. Well, what?
Nothing.
Well, all right. Look, I'm sorry to you for being fucking hardcore because I've just gotten a bit of a moody one because Manx got me going. But fuck it. It's real. I mean, I tell you what though, most people in the Bigfoot community are on a LARP. I've told you that before. I'm fucking going to tell it again. And they're in a fantasy, and they ain't interested in the truth at all. They're
So
interested
you don't
in the
believe
lie.
Bigfoot's real either.
What's the evidence that he's real? A bit of film from the 60s and other hearsay. There's less evidence. There's more evidence that he exists solely in the imagination of Bigfoot believers than not. Yes, if you're fucking real and honest with yourself, that's a true statement. What I've just said. It's just most
What
people in the
about
community.
people who have actually seen one?
Yes, you can't trust first-hand accounts. Witness statements.
I don't. And that's why I don't listen to stories, because I in no way want that to be put into my head and impact what I see or what I experience out in the forest. So there's a particular reason that I don't buy into other people's stories. But when it pertains to me and myself and what I've seen and what I've done and experienced, that's a completely different thing.
Well, let me tell you what I think is going on, Brandy, and I'm going to float this out there, but it doesn't mean I'm right. It's only my speculation.
Shut it down, because I've seen a Bigfoot just like I could walk out on the street right now and see somebody walking down it. It was not my imagination. There were no drugs involved. The damn thing was right in front of me. It actually happened. I've processed it. I've gone through the stage of, am I losing my mind? Am I crazy? Could it not have really been there? And I've seen it multiple times.
Could it have
more
been a
than
bear?
once?
Could have been a bear.
Absolutely not. Look up fucking bears in South Jersey. Let me know.
Okay, well, either way, I'd like to know about the surroundings, the lighting, and what time of day or night it was, and et cetera, et cetera. But I was gonna say something deeper than that before, which was I was gonna speculate this. Let me speculate this, and I respect you for throwing down, and so you should, because to many people this is going to be It's contentious me holding this opinion, but it's the whole cold hard truth of reality. Anyway, this is opinion
You're
what I'm about to share with you.
Your opinion, yes, but you're not entitled to basically call me crazy because your eyes haven't seen what mine have.
I'm going to level it to you now what I think, and you can push back, but I'm going to level to you exactly what I think. I don't think you're crazy, but I'll put it to you like this. In fact, no more than anyone else. Let's just put it that way. But let's say that I think I suspect there's the I suspect you've almost turned a religion. You've made a religion out of your interaction with the woods, the woo interdimensional aspect of the woods, an emergent religion, and I think it happens. I think it's happened before. I think humans tend to do it. And with no particular direction to a human.
I don't know that Bigfoot is interdimensional. I've just presented that theory that is a possibility.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll finish the point at least, then come back at me, because I haven't quite finished now.
Religion. Go ahead.
Thank you. What was I saying? Without a clear direction. I see a wagon. I see. Hang on. Without a disciplined without a disciplined inquiry, the human mind can run amok and run wild and generate religions out of things. Cults. We always do it. We always enter into cult mindedness. So I reckon with the woo side of the interdimensional Bigfoot community, that's basically what you got is an emergent religion where people feel, because they don't really know their own true cosmology. This is why I keep bringing it back to the true cosmology, Advaita Vedanta. the true cosmology of self. If you don't know which bit of you's legitimate and which bit of you's a fantasy, then you'll be looking outside of yourself to find coherency, and that's what most people are doing. In fact, I'm going to get Wagon Breadth in now, but then I want Wagon. I'm going to bring you in case my stream goes. But oh no, is she ready? Are you not ready? All right, I think she is. And then I want Brandy to respond to that though first. How you doing, Wagon?
I'm good. How are you, Brandy?
Awesome.
Hey,
Hey,
come save me from this crucifixion.
I'm here. I'm here for you. I myself, I can't speak to Bigfoot. I've never seen, unfortunately. As far as the Jersey Devil, that's a different story, but I would love to hear about your experience, honestly.
Maybe one day.
Okay, fair enough.
You don't want to get
So-
into it? Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason I limit what I share. Absolutely.
But own
That's
it,
fair
Brandy.
enough.
You know, own it, honey.
I don't need to own it for everybody else.
No, we'll talk about it.
Well, that just proves
Maybe
to me
there's
that it's right. Fine.
Go ahead.
What does
Well, I was
that
just-
prove
no.
to you? Why do
All
I
right,
need
I was
to be concerned with what everybody else thinks about anything?
Well, if it was
No.
about verifiable truth, then to share it, you know, with a jury of your peers might be useful. But if you're actually just more interested in remaining in a fantasy about it,
But listen,
then it wouldn't be useful.
listen.
I tend to believe that it's the latter.
Pete, there have been so many people who have shared their stories that have gotten the same response that you're giving. So what
What?
incentive does that give
Right,
the
but I'm
people
not-
to
I'm
share their
not-
story?
I'm about the most open-minded sort of person you're going to ever get, who's also.
But you've already
grounded
closed your
in
mind to
reality.
it.
No, I haven't. If you notice what I've said, I've been very careful the way I've said it. I've not closed my
You're
mind to it at all.
telling me
That's all
I'm
I've said.
living in a fantasy world and I'm using my
It's
fantasy
far more
world to
likely. My explanation of the phenomena of what people are witnessing is far more reasonable, actually, than their account. If they want to insist on it being actually evidence of woo, when all the photographs, all the videos seems to point at something entirely different. So
I can't
humans,
speak to everybody
humans-
else's experience.
humans tend to disappear up their arse. And if you want to actually come to know what you really are, which is magic, right? You actually are magic. It's just you're projecting your magic out there and thinking all the mad stuff's out there, all the demons are out there. No, all the demons are in there, all the mad stuff isn't here. I'm telling you, I'm holding the mirror because the first bit is admitting the truth. And most people are happily lost in their fantasy, Brandy. And who am I to take that fucking doobie out of your fucking hands? Because
Who are
everyone's
you
doing
to say
it.
whose truth is correct or not, though?
There is an objective way of checking, actually. Just most people don't want to do it because it'll ruin their whole LARP, actually.
Like if
True.
somebody points out the truth to you about how the Earth is really a globe.
It's not really a globe, and I can refute it all day long, like I say, easily.
But do you understand how that's a similar argument? It's something that you can't
No.
physically see.
No.
Do you hear
it's
me
not.
though?
Well, no, because I've intellectually refuted the globe,
Okay.
proper,
But-
scientifically, by
So can you
bringing in.
intellectually refute the existence of Bigfoot or other creatures? How?
Of what you cut out then for me?
I said, can you intellectually refute the existence of creatures such as Bigfoot?
Well, that's kind of what I'm doing a little bit, but I haven't gone all the way at it. But I'm flirting with it. Yeah, I mean, we should. You know, if you want to get to the bottom of the truth, Brandy should be. If Brandy was more about the truth, then she should be interested in trying to refute her hypothesis. She should create a null hypothesis. Bigfoot doesn't exist, and then try and disprove that.
No, I haven't.
Well, because I don't know that, but based on our
That is
debate, I'm
But out
developing an
there, I just told you, I ran through all of that. I've gone through the am I crazy stage. I've gone through the denial stage. I've gone through the fucking I was hallucinating stage. I've seen them more than once. Numerous times, various times of days, cloudy days, rainy days, sunny days, fucking rainbow days, name it. and it's something I enjoy. So why would I put it all out there for everyone else to tear apart?
Well,
Right.
here you go. Just to support your side of events, although I disagree with this statement on its face, but Hobbs is backing you up and saying it is crazy to dismiss the experience of others. I wouldn't say I'm doing that, Hobbs. There are probably as many people that believe in Bigfoot as there are flat earthers. I am absolutely flat earth, by the way. So, in other words, he's saying I shouldn't dismiss the experience of others. He's backing you guys up.
Right.
Hopefully I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I am
What
saying that
about
the more
people
reason.
who are so traumatized by seeing one that they can't even go back out in the woods again?
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole other thought. That wasn't really what I was drilling down on, but that's a different thought. Yeah.
So obviously you don't believe in aliens, Pete, because flat Earth and no planets.
Well, like I said,
and
I'm not. I wouldn't call myself flat Earth. I call myself. I've refuted the spinny ball.
okay.
But
Do you
anyway,
believe
yeah.
do you believe
Hang
that
on.
there is other?
I was going to say, if there's ever a phenomenon that seems when it comes to UFOs or beings that resemble what's depicted as being classically aliens or whatever, I'd find it now that I understand a bit more about our cosmology and what it isn't, then I find it far more compelling to say that they're either figments of the imagination, night terrors, the US government, right, in terms of the craft themselves, or some
Okay.
sort of actual, or some actual legitimate interdimensional, but that is the bottom of the list, interdimensional beings, that operate in a way that we don't yet fully understand. I'm absolutely open-minded to the idea, honey, like really, but you'd have to, if you don't want to be, you have to admit that you don't know. You have to admit that you don't know if you want to be grounded in reality. When you don't know something, you have to admit to what extent you don't know it. So if anyone who assures me that they know it 100% is actually, that's intellectually dishonest, and they're just trying to convince themselves more than anyone
See,
else of something.
that is
And I
how
do not talk like that at all on my channel, and I make absolutely no claims of anything on my channel for that reason, because I'm aware of how that would make others feel. But that doesn't change how I personally feel.
and see, that's how I feel about your flat Earth argument.
Stop calling
how
it
do
a
you
flat Earth
100%
argument.
know?
I'm not.
You cannot 100% know.
Could you call it at least what I've insisted we call it on my account? Because I'm not. I don't say I'm a flat
Okay,
earther.
what is it?
I say the globe refutation, or the refutation of the globe.
All right,
So at
your
least
globe
couch it in terms of.
refutation.
Thank you.
So how do you know about that's
Look,
100%
let me explain
true?
to everyone what's going on with Wagon. Wagon's grifting over at the Bigfoot channel. She doesn't believe that shit anyway. But she's so worried that she might hurt some feelings. She's not actually
No,
representing her
that's
true
not true.
position.
You're changing the subject. You know that
I'm
I'm
not.
you know that I don't refute the globe, okay? You know that I don't refute the globe.
Whatever.
She
we
doesn't
don't
have to
come-
believe it's Bigfoot. She was just trying to help you understand the point I was trying to make.
That's right.
And I
I know.
appreciate
I know, and I'm being mean, but also she's only coming
You're
at
not
me
being
from one.
mean. You're entitled to your opinion, but when I'm telling you something and you're coming back at me to basically shut down what I'm saying, like there's no validity to my words whatsoever, yeah, that's a bit dickish.
And I'm not
Well,
trying
you-
to shut you down, Pete. I'm not. I'm just devil's advocate.
No, you're fine, Wagon. I know, Wagon. I'm just letting you know that you're coming at me instead of, you're not coming at Brandy, you're coming at me, and that's fine. You could just be coming at me first, but I'm just letting you know you better come at both of us. You see, don't be
I
coming
am,
at me.
and I said I have never seen Bigfoot. I don't necessarily, but exactly. I mean, I haven't seen the Earth from a distance either, which is why
Right.
I don't have any concrete beliefs in either. But I don't.
Right.
I wouldn't tell her that she didn't see what she saw.
I didn't say that. Well, my point would be that, and I don't know if I've made this point, but my point would tend to be though that there are far more likely explanations than that Bigfoot's real, right?
Yes, there are.
I agree.
Absolutely. I agree too. You don't
Right.
think I came into all this shit being a skeptic first? Like you're talking 7 years of private research with this shit.
Right. And I'm not saying,
I-
just so you know, I'm not saying that Bigfoot's not real, but I'll say, where's the fucking evidence though? And people can say there's loads. Everything I've seen is probably bollocks. So there you go.
He's not picking on me. We're having a healthy little discussion. He's not trying to hurt my feelings.
Right. And as for Wagon, because what I just said could potentially hurt her grift. And I'm not about that because I'm all about the fucking grift. But I'll just say this. The only reason I come at you with that, Wagon, is just because, all right, it was a bit mean because, not long ago.
What was
I
mean?
asked for her help, so she naturally jumped in my defense.
I don't feel like you attacked me. I don't feel attacked.
Good. All I was saying is,
I think you feel attacked.
No, I don't. I'm just on one because the man got me started or something, and I'm sort of off on one and a rant on one. But no, no, it's good. All I'm saying to you is, Wagon, you better go at Brandy though, because you're coming at me. Go at Brandy now. So you've done me, fine. Do Brandy now. Let me hear that you are a reasonable grounded person. What's wrong with Brandy's take?
Brandy said she didn't want to discuss it, so I'm not going to press.
What a beautiful little cop-out back door.
No,
That's
you
nice.
didn't want to discuss with me your evidence on how you know that flat Earth. That your refuting of the globe is 100%. So I don't think
that's
that
not true.
either
I'm
way.
happy to talk about that all day. But anyway, well, Brandy, I think
She
you got
wanted to hear about my experiences, and I said I don't want to talk about it. When I talk about my experiences, it'll be on my channel when I'm ready.
Yeah, but all right. Well, I'll say this then. She's found a nice little back door, and I'll come back at her then. There's enough that you could go on that you already know about Brandy without her having to go into actual experiences that you could actually watch. You could level something in Brandy's direction. You could sort of back up my position and sort of go at her with your own line of questioning, because you were coming at me with a similar line of questioning to what Brandy was coming at. You were backing her up like a sister. Well, back me up like a brother, Justin Bieber.
I back you both. I love you both.
Exactly. So it's now your turn to go at Brandy. That's what I'm trying to say. You've done me. Now go at Brandy. Let's hear it, because I want to see how you're not being a sycophant. You're not just sort of grounding yourself in what's expedient for you because you're friends with a bunch of Bigfoot channels, even though you probably don't believe that shit. So let's hear it. Go for it. Come on.
Listen, I respect Brandy's wishes. Look, it's not even about that. Stop it. It's not even about that.
Right.
I'm not gonna.
All right.
She was explaining what I said in her words because I felt as if you weren't understanding me.
Right. I'm not going after you at all.
Going at you at all.
I think it's self-evident I've understood everything Brandy said. There's nothing I haven't understood. But I'm coming back and saying, first-hand account, right? It only bears so much weight in the court of law for a reason. People misremember how many buttons on a blouse they saw, what color a person's trousers were.
That's true.
Right. And so the human imagination, especially if it's fractured or allowed to run rampant, and when I say the people also turn things into cults and religions. So that coupled with that tendency to, and in Brandy's case, she seems quite adamant, and she admits that she's quite happy to, not in her words, turn it into a fascination or religion or fantasy. She hadn't called it that, but I'm calling it that. And to any bystander, they'll be able to see why I'm doing that, not being unfair by doing that.
Then turn it into some fascination or religion, and I'm not out grifting for nobody.
Yeah, but say that again. What?
No, I said I'm not out trying to grab followers.
I know. Well, look, let me just put it this way, just so everyone knows. I love Brandy, right? I love Wagon. I've been a bit mean to Wagon, and I'm not very fair of me. But look, I'm sorry, Wagon. I'll just say, Brandy's very down to earth and logical until it comes to
which is why you're having a hard time.
I'm not having a hard time. No one said I'm having a hard time.
You're not telling me anything I'm not already aware of and have not already discussed with myself. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Right, so it shouldn't. Well, I'm glad to know that your feelings won't be hurt if you've already said it all to.
I've already had this whole battle with myself. I've come to terms with all of it. I know what is real. And if there's people who want to believe it, great. If you don't, fine. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But
well, I'll tell you this. Yeah. Well, I was going to say well, all right, go on, get it out. I'll shut up.
You're trying to prove a point that the mind can play tricks on you, or you could possibly be seeing something that's not actually there. And I'm telling you that I'm aware and I've already gone through all of that shit.
I know, but that's just someone trying to. I get the instinct to want to do that and tell me that you're sober minded when you've seen an alien in the latest photo of the forest or something, but it doesn't bear out really, does it? It's far more likely that it was just the magic combination of those leaves that looked that way, and that you've gone with the most woo explanation that backs up your worldview and the fantasy that you have of the forest creatures than the actual most likely explanation in any case. And I'll say this as well to go a bit further. Something that I share in common with Lockbeard probably, although he hasn't fully said it as such, but I get the general impression that he's quite grounded in the idea that probably there's so little evidence. In fact, he's kind of said this much: there's so little evidence for any of it at this rate that it might, as you know, that there's just it can't be called, it should not be included in the truth community kind of title, to be honest. It's far more likely a fantasy religion at this rate because there's so little evidence to support it, quite frankly. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's true. Really.
To you
So,
personally,
go ahead, Brandy.
I said to you personally.
No, not to me personally, objectively. Like I'm not gonna dog
Hey,
in
but
that
no
fight.
matter what you say or what anybody else says, that changes absolutely nothing in my life.
Well, that's fine, and that's because you've turned it into a religion, probably.
That's very offensive.
Well, that's what people do with religion all the time. No, they don't need the evidence. It just makes them feel better, and it's an opioid.
God.
It's a device. Well, what? I mean, it is true.
You're an
though.
all
I
or
mean, I'm
nothing.
only
B.
I
look.
have the evidence. Are you not hearing what I'm saying to you?
I've seen it. What you are calling evidence, and it's like some leaves that look like an alien
I
face.
showed you
I mean,
one
that's about it.
stupid fucking picture.
Yeah, but show me a good one then. I mean, why show me a crap one? Show me your best one.
Nobody's seen my best one.
Well, why?
Because I don't want it out there, because I don't want Big G in fucking Jersey killing something.
You turned it into a religion then, because you think that, come on,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Well, all right. Well, that's my opinion. I'll just say that's my opinion, Brandy. Okay, and I'll be honest with everyone. This is turning into a bit of a shit show because I don't want to fall out with Brandy. It's the first time we've ever got this fucking crazy on this subject. But forgive me, Brandy, but it is true. I'm only representing reality, and you're representing your position.
Is a religion. Am I out there fucking sacrificing and praying? And I don't even understand what
No, but you're holding from the world your best photograph of.
So what? That's my choice.
I know, but why? And you just told me it's almost religious thinking. It's because you don't want to upset the forest creatures. You didn't say that, but it sounds like that.
Nor do I give a shit to deal with this crap.
This isn't crap. This is reality.
I don't need to hear it. I don't
Why?
need somebody to tell me I haven't experienced what I've experienced. I would never say that to somebody.
Well, I'm not trying to be mean saying it. You do understand this, Brandy.
I know you're not trying to be mean, but you're sure as hell going to keep going with the argument instead of just accepting what I've said to you.
All right, I'll drop it. Okay, fine. I've gone as far as I need to. I've laid out the case.
There's plenty of other people who don't share because instead of people coming at it from an angle like, okay, let me hear about what you know. Maybe you can teach me something. It's your imagination, your brain does this, your blah, blah, blah. And that's far, far more believable than what you're actually saying. And if you're going to come at me like that, then I don't feel the need to attempt to teach you or show you anything.
Well, that's a bit of a weird way of couching it because you've already showed me the photos. I was very open-minded to seeing them, and based on what you showed me and what does not amount to evidence, honey, like convincing evidence, not in my opinion, although it is in my opinion, but you know what I mean. It's not compelling. It's really not. There are other explanations. You at least would admit there are other explanations that it could be a particular combination of the way those plants look.
When I sent you the picture,
you said that you saw it there in real life. You were there in real life.
No, you said that's a demon something plant, and I said yes.
Yeah, it's a demon alien plant face or something. I don't know what I said, something like that.
And I said yes.
Right, as in it just looks like something, but it's not that thing. It's just a weird way that clouds form that they look like a face. It's just nothing.
Called pareidolia.
That's what that's called? Pareidolia?
That's
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, there you go. Pareidolia. There you go. Pareidolia. I'm going to write a song called Pareidolia about the Bigfoot community and cryptoids community. It's going to called, yeah, it's going to have the word LARP in there somewhere and religion as well.
Awesome. You should be proud of yourself for that.
Well, that was a bit mean, but I'm sorry. Fuck.
You're good.
Thank you. Well, there you go, guys. So at least you had, and this is what the whole point. And you know, hey, wagon.
Yeah, I love it. Every time Brandy comes on the show, she gets put on the spot. And every
know
time
why,
I'm in
Brandy?
everybody has fun. Great.
That's because
Look.
that's because
Go, go.
Pete knows you're brilliant.
By the way, I'll just let everyone know, Ruthless is trying to jump on this and say, finally, Pete, this was my point from before. No, it wasn't. You're just saying that, trying to fucking get some credibility back, you fucking crazy Australian. That's a nonsense. Well, this wasn't your point. What, that I'm reasonable, Ruthless? Is that your fucking point? Well, good. Anyway, all right, well, go on. You two get in.
You're attempting to be. I'm aware that you're not trying to upset me, but
Right.
the way you choose your wording comes off as offensive.
What it's going to be, Brandy, is that you've based. This is my own words and my own opinion, and so I'll totally couch it like that. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying this is my opinion of Brandy's thing. So I shouldn't be. It's a bit. I pinch your soul here, Brandy, because I'm sort of almost psychoanalyzing you. I'm not wanting to do that, but I'm just saying. My take on it is this: you've built your fantasy religion, spirituality. Let's call it a fantasy spirituality, or let's just call it a legitimate spirituality. Then let's do that. All right, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be as kind and charitable as possible. You've built your spirituality, the spiritual understanding of the. Hang on, I haven't said it yet. Well, at least let me say it, and you could come back at me. You've built your spirituality around the sort of that interdimensional forest world, and things I'm saying essentially upsetting to some of the basis of that for you, the foundation, some of the evidences that have helped you arrive at that worldview. And so I'm literally pitching myself against your core thing that makes you happy, where you're grounded, and I get that, and I don't want to be doing that, no. But I do think it's important for us to the truth is equally as amazing, and it's only a small little perspective shift, in my opinion, to where you're at with that anyway. The cosmology of self, the true beauty is yourself reflected back to you in the forest, it's projection. All the magic is you. All the magic is the eternal being. So it's the same magic. It's just there's a slight bit of misidentification of fantasy and imagination going on with your, in my opinion, of what you're bringing to bear on that. So the truth is as beautiful. I'm there too. I'm in fucking heaven, honey. You want to know the truth? Already I'm there. You know what I mean? As much as I can be so far with, whatever's left of the fake me or something. But I'm there. I get what you're saying. But I'm just saying that's what's jarring. I think that I'm challenging some of the basis for your worldview. And that's
Not
gonna
at all jarring. That's what a lot of people do.
I was gonna say you're probably not
That's
the
what
first.
everybody does, which is why the channel is so small, and I don't make claims publicly like that. I have no desire to be challenged. I don't claim to be a researcher. I don't claim to be some scientific person out to prove they're real and do that proper research people do. I make it very clear that I go on adventures, and we're going to see what kind of shenanigans I can get into. I don't choose to socialize with anyone who wants to bring a negative vibe into my space. But if you're of the opinion that I'm in a fantasy world and it's all bullshit, you're entitled to that.
I didn't put it in that way though. But all right.
But you might as well have. Let's shorten it down for the blunt American.
Well, no. I actually went a bit further and said to you that there's a whole portion of what's going on with I don't know how to coin it, but your understanding of the spiritual realm, let's put it that way. There's a lot about it that we're totally in agreement with. That I'm trying to meet you there. It's just that by extension, you allow your imagination to run wild, in my opinion. There you go. When it comes to those beings, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm leveling out. That's the only bit of it that I'm not down with, honey. The rest of it, the instincts, the intuition is beautiful, and I'm there with you.
It sounds so
Wagon-
patronizing, even though that's not how you mean it. That's how I would take it if it was me.
I've already explained 4 times that this imagination word needs to be taken out of the conversation.
I need to use that word because it's a whole portion of the mind that is animating your current experience of the cryptids universe. So I really need to use that word. That's
But
what's
if you
running
truly
amok.
want
So
somebody
me
to
telling
open up,
you that I'm well aware of what the mind can do and what tricks it can play, and I've gone beyond that.
No, you haven't.
Is
I haven't seen any.
acceptable.
I haven't seen any evidence that's beyond that.
I don't need to show you any evidence.
Yes, you do for me to convince me. Yes, you do.
So seeing is believing?
Seeing is believing. That's right. In Buddhism, yes, seeing or believing is seeing. Actually, is true. Believing is seeing, honey. Believing is seeing.
Well, that's ass backwards.
Well, no,
That's how your
believing
mind
is seeing is believing is seeing is how the mind actually works. That's
Believing
not ass
is-
backwards.
No, it is ass
I
backwards.
agree with that.
I can believe in a lot of things, and because I believe in it, that's the type of shit that's gonna have my brain envisioning it out in the fucking forest.
Yeah,
But
believing
you
is
do
seeing.
that.
Exactly.
Brandy
When
believes
you're
because
out
she
in the woods and you know nothing of Bigfoot or anything pertaining to any cryptids whatsoever, and one of them damn things steps out in front of you and you don't know what you're looking at, I beg to differ, and I hope it happens to you one day.
Well, that's fine. And honey, I've had mad night terror in the forest where three aliens came and dragged me out of my tent. Just so you know, but I didn't. My first thought wasn't they're actually aliens or that they're cryptids or some interdimensional. In fact, that's not true. Part of me still is open-minded to the idea that they were truly interdimensional demons that could get to me through the state of sleep I was in. But either way, it's far more
I'm
likely that
protected from all that.
good for you. And I was on protected grounds, so to speak, as well, in a Buddhist center, and I should have been protected as well if you believe that stuff. I'm not saying that I don't believe it. I'm just saying I get you thinking. I'm open to that way of thinking. But I'll just say that, and we could get into that another time. But on this particular point, or we could even get into it after this. But my point there is that my first protocol is because I understand enough about the mind. It's more likely that my own mind is haunted, and it's an aspect of my own haunted mind that's coming to get me in my own sleep, than it's an outside demon. Look at the Carl Jung sort of cosmology. I know for some reason Ruthless doesn't like Carl Jung. Certain people don't like Carl Jung, but it works to make the point. We are fractured. You know what I mean? We're committee up there. There's disparate bits of us not brought into the fold yet, or repressed and out the loop, and they can run amok. They're ghosts in the machine. We are the haunted forest, not the forest. The forest isn't haunted. We are. Although I might add, it's possible that the forest is also haunted, but in ways that I don't fully understand, I don't claim to, and that there's not sufficient evidence of currently. But there is clear evidence that we ourselves are fucking mental. So, like, I'm always going to presume that it's our own daylight hallucination and us being insane, right? Than not. And I'm right to bias that way. Like, I am more reasonable to bias that way because we are fucking mad. We are loonies.
Yes, Joshua, we are seriously debating the existence of Bigfoot, apparently.
Yeah, the chat.
Oh, right. Are we seriously debating the existence of Bigfoot? Why does that mean Joshua's convinced of
Something
Bigfoot?
I have absolutely no desire to do, which is why I'm so careful in what I say and what I release.
And Hobbes said, Hiveless B, again, you cannot possibly rebuke an experience felt or observed by a person if you were not present.
Well, you can rebuke its validity though, and they would do that in a court of law as well. You could
Well,
scrutinize the
law.
scrutinize
Court
the
of law.
witness. You scrutinize the witness, Hobbs. That's what I'm doing. I'm scrutinizing the witness.
That's horrible.
I know. Well, I don't mean to. I know, but I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to be mean to Brandy, but it's true, isn't it? Oh yeah, well, Bigfoot does exist. Scratch is here. Yeah, that's true. Anyone who's seen Scratch will know that Bigfoot is real because he does look exactly like Sasquatch. It's true. And by the way, I might just add, just so everyone knows, clear
Love it.
disclosure. I haven't said that they don't exist, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's far more likely, though, that there are other explanations for the phenomena. And my first port of call would be that it's human imagination running wild. And if I could somehow get that out of the way and know that to my satisfaction it's not that. And in Brandy's case, I'm not satisfied it's not that because she herself admits that she's pretty much she's into it for a better
But she's also
fucking
told
term.
you that that was a discussion for a different time and perhaps a different channel.
Do you want me to drop it, honey? Yeah, just move on. Should we move on? Brandy.
I've said all I have to say.
All right, well, let's move on then. All right, well, sorry if it got heated. And yeah. Bigfoot not F the globe, exactly. Yeah, like I say, fuck it. You know what's at least nice? I'll just say this in closing and we'll move on. But it's quite nice to level this sort of way of thinking and approach to the Bigfoot and cryptids community, though. This one I'm playing here is the devil's advocate, was it Hobbes said or someone said? It is the devil's advocate position that that you should always test your theory against. And if it doesn't, if it doesn't fly, if all right, well, hang on, if it doesn't fly against that, then it's not. Then it's possible it's more of a LARP. You insisting and believing it than you genuinely being about the truth. So as long as you can admit that and hold that mirror up to yourself, everyone that's in that community, then I'm just doing you a fucking favor because you know what I believe.
In the community, but I know what I've done for myself.
Well, that's fine, Brandy. But I'm speaking to the community at this rate. I'm saying that. I tell you what I believe, or I think it's like a wisdom. It's not that I believe; it's that I've got insight into this. If you don't base if you're not based in truth or seeking the truth, if truth is not your highest aim, then what is? You see, it could it's just as easy be vice. It could just as easy be a LARP fest. It could just be the escapism. So if it's not about truth, then what the fuck are you even doing anyway? If you're not about, what was that? What was that, Brenda?
Joshua Lindsay put a link in the chat, and I clicked on it by accident.
Right. Thank you.
Never mind.
Respect. Right click on it, honey. Right click and open a new tab.
I don't have a right clicker.
Yeah, well, Joshua Lindsay taught me that. Well, we've done about Bigfoot, Joshua. We've done that bit now, mate. But you can listen back respectfully, or skip it back by 20 minutes or half an hour or so. B, tell us more about aliens having their way with you. Yeah, they dragged me out of the tent, and I couldn't move. I had paralysis, and when I woke up, I realized that. And here's the telling thing: the tent didn't look like it did in real life. When I actually woke up, it was a very good impression of the tent in my memory, but it wasn't anything like the actual tent. It was a dream version of the tent. So it wasn't the real space. So, you know, like I said, the imagination's fucking crazy. We are like Pandora in Pandora's box or something. We're fucking crazy until we're not crazy. So anyway, we've got to get out of Pandora's labyrinth. We've got to get out of the labyrinth. And if you're insisting on getting fascinated by an aspect of the labyrinth, you're not going to get out of it, are you? You know, but in Brandy's case, it's anyway, I'll shut the fuck up because in Brandy's case, she sees reflected back to her an aspect of her own divine beauty and it's beautiful. So I don't want to take that away from her. Like I said, I'm not trying to challenge that bit of it. I'm challenging something else. But all right, then, Wagon Brett, let's let Wagon Brett lead a bit and I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Paradox was the one that said that you were being devil's advocate, but Michael Haywood said that you're being the devil's ass bag.
True.
So
true. Well, I don't know what everyone was saying. It was probably really interesting. I'll watch the chat back later. You know, respect. No offense to any y'all's. Exactly. No offense to you all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fucking out there too. It's just that. Anyway, right, Brandy, where do you want to go with it? Because Brandy's as fun as anyone. What do you want to actually talk about? Can we lighten it up a bit then, please?
Not fucking Bigfoot.
Yeah, not fucking Bigfoot. Well, what, can I ask you? Yes, exactly. Big finger. What did you think of? Okay, let me ask Brandy this. Then here you go. We'll go here. What did you think of Icon's face reveal, Brandy?
He's so handsome.
He is so handsome. And look, he's in the chat there. Hey, Icon, do you want to come on the chat with the girls, Icon? Why don't I get the girls to fawn over how handsome you are?
Good times.
All right, let's do that then. Let's. Oh, God, lean on my arm. Actually, yeah, you know what? You guys could give me a break. Actually, fuck it. All right, let's do this. Icon, you game, mate. I bet Icon is game. To be fair.
Bring Icon on. Bring Joshua. Just bring everybody on. Anybody
It's
that
fair.
wants
I
to
could
come on.
actually. Well, to be fair, yeah. I mean,
Brady
even
wants
Connor could come on. The only thing
Let's
is,
get
if
it
Connor
going
comes on, you know, we're going to end up getting back into what we've just been talking about potentially, and but I don't
And
want
then
to.
you're scared that you're going to be crushed.
I don't feel that I'm going to be crushed. I mean, he's a brother after my own heart when it comes to the refutation of the ball thing. Although he's quite happy to be out on a limb with a lot of that stuff. Although he'd never put it that he's out on a limb with the Bigfoot stuff. But I'll tell him that he's out on a limb to his face. But I do love him though. Right, here's the and I love the spirit of it, like I said. But that spirit's there without any of the other stuff.
Icon's
I've
going
got
to
it.
grab some coffee and he'll be right with us.
Right, well, I won't post the link then yet. Well, Icon, let me know when you're ready for that link, and Wagon Breath can bring it to my attention there. Hey, Rufus, you're gonna become my friend again on Facebook. What are you doing? At least let me be friends with your cat.
He
So,
wants
Brandy,
to befriend your pussy, Ruthless.
I want to be friends with your pussy again.
No.
Cute. So, Brandy, you've got the brute is away for a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, I won't get into that, but it's fine. Brandy's on holiday.
You can get into it, but you refer to him as like he's somebody to me, and he's not.
Well, that's why I called him brute. That time. So, I'm trying to improve on husband or ex-husband or some shit like that. But whatever.
That's the worst possible word you could use.
Well, especially since it's not even true, is it? Actually, I don't think.
No. I've never been married.
Say again.
No, I've never been married.
Right. So, but yeah, partner then or something.
Pain in my ass, thorn in my side.
There you go. The
Scum.
thorn in her side has gone away for 5 days. She gets to chill and breathe easy and have a Bigfoot debate on the first night he's gone. Shit, Brandy. Damn it.
Fun.
Yeah.
The only annoyance about that was I literally had to explain myself 6 different times. I don't know. I don't know if you were
Well, no,
thinking
that's-
I wasn't understanding what you were saying. I don't know, but the back
it's
and
because
forth with the same
'cause there's-
explanation of the same thing over and over is what I find
Yeah,
annoying.
well, I won't. Yeah, I won't get into it again because we'll go into right back into it. But I'll, all it was you were. I think you took you felt it personally. You felt I was sort of criticizing something on a personal level, and I wasn't trying to do that. But and you also came back at me and said you knew that it wasn't that. It doesn't matter. Let's not get into it again. Like I said, let me see Hobbs's point anyway. What's he saying? Oh, very nice picture of an eclipse. I think. In fact, we've got an eclipse coming up in 2 weeks. Hi, Miss B. I have been looking into truth since 2002 after 9/11 because of the way the buildings fell. I understand that not everything is a conspiracy. I am true to myself. Yeah, so you don't believe that all crises are crisis actors, and that yeah. Well, right. Like I said, I'm interested in the truth, mate. Of course. All right, what were we saying then? What were we saying before that was quite funny just then? Oh, you've both got mute. Oh, they've both gone off for a minute. Fine.
Stop reversing it. I'm back.
Right.
She's still up. It's so funny. Like, my 13-year-old talks exactly like me. I gotta do a double take at him because I felt like I spoke when I didn't.
Right.
When is this eclipse we're supposed to have? I can see the moon right now.
If I seem like I've got the hump, I'm just like I'm waiting for these girls to actually develop all of that great imagination Brandy's got for inventing beings in the fucking forest. She can't start a conversation. Come on, Brandy, let's actually hear you talk about some shit, for God's sake. My God. Can I actually not be
You just
driving
love
this
to
thing?
fucking insult me.
Hey, I'm saying that very dry. That's very dry British kind of thing, but I'm slightly moody. I'm just owning it. It's like, come on, man. Do I have to
Take your
draw blood
fucking
out the
brain
stone?
and sell it to somebody else.
It's like talking to Icon. Come on, people. Have you actually got a brain? Are you actually come on, talk to me? I'm playing.
Jesus.
I'm being mean on purpose. You do understand? I'm doing that right now just to fill the air because you're not
You
talking to me.
didn't
So I'm gonna.
I just fucking asked you when the eclipse was. Are you deaf?
It cuts out. It cuts out. I'm so sorry. You know what? That's the fucking streamer thing. I didn't hear you say that, honey. My bad. See, when's the eclipse? In 2 weeks. I'm not sure the exact date. Not sure the exact date.
Mm.
It's something like the longest eclipse in a century or something like that. It's a big deal, especially being this year, 2021. Actually, I think it's the 19th of October. I think it's the 19th of October. Actually, I seem to remember. Rufus will know all of this year.
It's
Oh,
November.
right. 9th of November. 9th of November. Sorry. Yeah. 9th of November.
You should have
Exactly.
slept.
See? Yes. Well, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting back to sleep after this shit show. But I mean, I do think that's a good approach to my career, and upset everybody in my chat and the guests because I'm in a bad mood. And I'm not actually in a bad mood, by the way. I'm just sort of got off on one. Is that a good career choice, Brandy?
Mm, not if you got a bunch of sensitive people around. No.
Right. Great answer. Great answer. Exactly. I think we can all, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. I think we can all handle it, can't we?
I can handle it.
Good. Awesome. Well, what is he saying? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat again. But
Yeah,
it's such a shame. What?
you can catch up on chat if you want.
Well, I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. Just sort of vaguely staring at it. I don't really know what I'm seeing. I've seen
I
Rufus and
don't
the Man.
see any of
Rufus and the Manca getting into it. Monkey streams coming up or some shit. Well, you know what? An Icon hasn't showed himself again, so I don't know what he's doing. At the end of the day,
Pappas is coming on, is what he meant.
do you know what it is as well? My arm fucking hurts, man. I literally want to go and get a tea, and I want to shut the fuck up. And I'm waiting for you guys to take over a bit. That's what I actually want to do. If you want to know the truth,
She
I wanna
left
get-
me.
who?
Wagon, she left me.
I know, yeah. Wagon. What the?
She'll be right back. She said 1 minute.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I might just randomly scroll up and just find some stupid comments that the
I know what you
fruit
want me to
flyers
talk
are saying.
about. Everything I talk about, you like to fucking come back at me in a way that isn't normal.
Who, me? I don't know what that meant. What you just said, Brandy. What are you going on about?
I said, I don't know what you want me to talk about. And is it going to be an attack or is it going to be a good, nice, positive conversation?
Well, I could get into it with Brandy about loads of stuff. Honestly, it's just that some things are off topic in this forum, aren't they, Brandy? So I know there's certain things we probably couldn't get into, but I'd love to get into all sorts of things with you. I just don't know. So you have to tell me. You said you'd have a little bit meditate. What did you come up with? What do you want to get into? I have to go with you because I don't know what's on the table for you to talk about, basically.
Well, there's reasons for specific things not being on the table, like frustrations with the technical baby daddy. What if my kids watch this stream one day and I'm doing nothing but sitting here bashing their father?
Yeah, no, I respect that. But there is a way of bashing people in an honest, frank, decent, grounded way.
And then you'll
well.
tell me you don't know his side, and so.
No, and at the end of the day, honey, I hear you, and that's probably a wise choice and stuff. I get it. I get it.
We'll
little discouraging when you try to go on a little rant and it's shut down.
By me.
Normally.
But normally by me? Shut down by me? Is
Yeah.
that the- what to do with what?
A rant turns into like a back and forth kind of conflict instead of a rant.
Well, in what case? Well, what's your example? What are you referring to? What just happened then, or a previous chat? What are you
No,
referring
like
to?
for example, the last time I was trying to share something that frustrates me about co-parenting.
Right. I mean, all right. I thought that's what you were saying. And I look so hunched over because my neck fucking. I'm sick of sitting like this, man. I've got to get a different setup. It's so crap. Soon, people.
Like
Well, I was going to
more
say,
just behind you and lean back that way.
what here, like that?
I can't see you.
Fine.
Like
You know what?
straight
That's an improvement.
back in bed.
I'll do that then. Well, I'll do this for now because this is actually sort of an improvement. Right. What was I actually saying? What was
I don't know.
saying?
Paradox Fossils wants to talk about his sexual frustrations.
Oh, does he? Well, all right. You know what? Fuck it. That'll be a better subject. Well, I was just going to say, Brandy, do you want me to actually divulge that I heard some video evidence or audio evidence of what the person in question is actually like, and I tend to be able to corroborate Brandy's position as it pertains to the brute. Is that what you want me to say?
No.
Well, anyway, I can
necessarily.
corroborate Brandy's experience of ex-lover because I've heard audio evidence. I'll just say that. I'll say nothing more. But it's not how you're meant to speak to a
What?
4-year-old. Wagon, can you just keep your laughter contained until I've actually finished the point? It's so annoying when you're just suddenly randomly laughing over the top of me, just still talking and saying a serious point. People not focus on what's actually being said. Although that's fresh coming from me because I do that all the time. So, God, are you on a period today, B? Yes, I'm on my fucking period because the man keeps talking about printed circuit board Earth, and yeah, and no one could admit that they've made a religion out of a fucking LARP fest. Not talking about Brandy, but
Now,
whatever.
don't start treating the mank like Blackbeard treats him.
Yeah, I'm not actually. Look, I'm playing as well. You know, it's just very dry humor, isn't it? But also, come on, man.
Paradox,
All right.
do you have a thing for next too? He keeps looking at Wagon's neck.
All right, Wagon. Sorry for being mean. Why did I bite Wagon's head off? But it is annoying when she does that. Actually, Brandy does that too. She gets ahead of the chat.
Yes, I
She's laughing
do.
about some. You're laughing about something I haven't even seen yet, and it's like, what the fuck? But you know what? I do it too. So I fucking do it. I do it all the time. When I watch these things back, I see myself just talking. Yeah. All right, I'll shut up.
I got a thing for next too. I understand, Paradox.
Well, Wagon, what were you actually laughing at, for fuck's sake?
I don't know.
You talking about my ex-lover.
Whatever I walked into. That's fine.
Are you?
I'm a
right,
giggler.
okay, all right. Well, I don't think what I was saying was giggle worthy. I'm pretty sure she was giggling at the chat, but okay.
No, I wasn't. I was not giggling. I didn't even see the chat.
Right. Well, I don't know how that was
my head down a little bit.
giggle worthy, but okay.
My goodness.
Oh, that's amazing, Mank. Well, that's obviously total bollocks, isn't it? But I'm not going to show you those messages anymore because it's a load of shit.
I think you need a spanking too.
A little bit.
No. Hey, no. I mean, you can't go calling that shit fact when it's clearly not fact. I mean, that's just a lie. Hey, Mank, I thought you were in the business of truth, not lying. That's a lie. Anyway. No, I'm just keeping it real. Hey, I'm only in the business of keeping it real, people. That's all I'm interested in. Keeping it real.
Why you gotta be so rude?
Yes, we actually got Brandy to sing.
You know I'm only human too.
Well, all right. You know what? I can't. You snooze, you lose. She ain't coming on.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
It ain't happening, mate. It's too fucking. It ain't happening. Right.
So how do you like my
'Cause
rap
it's gonna-
wag?
it's-
I thought it was funny. And it was good. I liked it. I really did. Very clever.
Oh well, icon. All right, okay, yeah, icons there. Okay, I see. But
We'll talk.
I'm being beckoned.
you be all right. You know what? I'm gonna get icon on there. Fine, icon. Here you go, mate. Jump on it for fuck's sake. Let the girls come and fawn over you because I'm not in the mood. You guys can all fucking have a flirt fest and talk about fairies. And
Are you
printed
feeling a little
circuit.
ganged up on?
No, not at all.
Just
No,
kidding.
I'm just no, it's just
Girls
hard.
against guys.
No, but yes, I know you're kidding. I know you've been playful. No, I just once this energy gets fucking going, it's kind of hard to put it back in its box. That's all it is. That is literally all it is.
Why? Put it back in the box. Put the lid on it. Put it in the closet.
Well, because everything starts to become an irritation, doesn't it? Wagon giggling at chat and then pretending that she wasn't giggling at chat. Mank insisting that it's the fact of life now that the Earth is a printed circuit board, even though it's bollocks. Icon taking forever to fucking appear. Here he is. Right, Icon, come and cheer us up with your beautiful good looks. You ready, Icon? Here you go. And you know what's going to annoy me next? And I'll just preempt this. Icon makes a load of noise while he's starting to get his camera ready. Just really noisy camera noises. Here you go. That's going to be the next thing that pisses me off. Let's hear it.
Wait. Hang on. I gotta make your evening. Oh, wait. Hang on.
There you go. There it is. See? There it is. See?
What's happening, bro? How you doing?
Hilarious, Icon. You're very good. You look very well. See, doesn't he look good, girls? Fucking hell. He's cheered me up. So I can't stay angry with Icon because he's just too sweet. He's too
Oh, I
sweet.
love you, man. You just gotta
Oh,
chill out every once in a while and enjoy life.
All right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Icon's vibe is just too nice. Can't help myself. All right. Well, girls, do you want to fawn over Icon and I can shut the fuck up for a bit? How about that?
Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. All right, can we take should we start the bidding at $20?
50
Or- Where'd Brandy go?
Michael Haywood said he'd pay 100.
Oh, nice.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Well, $20 does seem like a reasonable start, to be fair. And I might just say, Mank, it's because you're couching it as fact, Mank. So you need to soften the couching, mate, because it's not fact. Be honest with yourself about what's true, Mank. And I won't come at you so hard. But I'm going to start to not. I'm not going to allow too much fucking fluff anymore, Mank. I'll just come at you hard. But I love you, really. But come on now. I think you're doing the movement of fucking. I don't like to call it a movement because it sounds like a LARP fest. I think you're doing the movement of fucking disservice when you're claiming stuff is fact that isn't. So I've got no time for that, man. If you're going to represent that position, that's your own fucking fault. There you go. I'm not coming at you, but that's true. I've just changed my position on it, man, and that's why I'm going to be from now on. But when you're holding it down and you're real, I'm going to kiss your ass as well. Anyway, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Alrighty.
Yo, how you doing, Dad?
Yo. So at the end of the day, what's happening, bro? Oh, my bad. What's up?
No worries, mate. You see, it cuts out for me. So probably when I play that back, you sound fine. But on the StreamYard, I didn't get any of that properly. So it always sounds stifled. So I do apologize for that. Anyway.
Oh, I got it. All good. My bad. Oh, just seeing what's happening. How you doing?
All right, man. I've obviously I got my panties in a bit of a twist, haven't I? So I'm just trying to climb down now and get calm down, mate. But just so you know, Hobbs has verified to me, Icon. I don't know if you heard that earlier, that Outlook is actually down at the moment, so he can't get access to his emails either. Oh, what are you saying, Meh? Oh, right. Okay, no worries, Brandy. I got you. Yeah. So is she dropped out? I'll drop. Oh, right. She's out. All right. Well, no worries, Brandy. Thanks a lot, honey. Oh, Joshua's coming up as well. Let's get Joshua on. Yeah, so basically Outlook seems to be down, Icon, by the way.
Yeah, I think Ruthless was saying something about that too. Hotmail and Icon or Hotmail and Outlook are the same thing.
An icon.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. Ah, okay, let's get Joshua up, but I didn't know that. Here's Joshua. How you doing, Joshua? Oh, he's jumped. What the fuck? Where you going, Joshua? I thought you were ready. Sorry, yeah. What was Rufus saying about that? Is that they've reported on it in the media?
Huh?
Reported on it in the media, Icon, have they? The
I don't know. He didn't clarify, and then he disappeared over to Ken's channel.
he's gone already. All right. Well, here's Joshua coming in anyway. Remember Joshua? How you
I
doing,
do.
Joshua?
I do.
Do you
Hello.
remember?
What's
Hello,
happening?
How you doing, Des?
Good. I was just catching up on your stream.
Good, man. What's your opinion on the? Oh, I don't want to get into it, mate. Honestly, but really quickly because you made a comment that interested me. You said, "Are we really arguing the validity of Bigfoot?" What's your position on that?
I don't have one, but I find the subject amusing.
Oh, right. Well, why did you couch it? Who the fuck was that, Icon? Sorry, Joshua. Who the fuck was that?
That was my sister wandering around.
Right. I was going to say someone's robbing Icon's house, and he's not putting up much of a fight.
What?
She. Oh God!
What?
All that inappropriate stuff about your sister. That's actually true. No, I'm
Be quiet.
joking, sister. I'm just playing. I'm playing. No, Joshua. Anyway, because you made the comment like, are we seriously discussing the validity of Bigfoot? And it sounded like you've got a dog in the fight either way.
Oh no, I mean that's a typical Joe Rogan trope, right? Bigfoot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, he was a big Bigfoot person for a long time until he did that show, Joe Questions Everything, and then he gets taken out into the middle of the woods and freaked out by some scary looking dudes, and then he decides from then on out he doesn't believe in Bigfoot.
Right. Well,
Here's
you
the
tend.
link.
Well, okay. Much respect. Yeah, you can link to the chat now, can't you, mate? So if you just go straight to the chat with any useful links now at the end of the day, mate. Yeah.
No worries.
And I can get them retrospectively that way if you see what I mean. Yeah, but I appreciate it. Or if you need to validate one for me, then ask me first. That's up to you. But for the most part, I'll trust your judgment. I was going to say, oh, okay, I see. Very funny. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. How's the channel going, mate? How's things going?
Huh?
Oh, I'm asking Joshua how the channel's going. How his channel's going?
Oh, my bad.
It reminds me of a really good AA group I was in once.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah. Well, I think we've all been through addiction here. That's for sure. Or some of us are still going through it by the looks of things. The Frenchman and Brandy. That's a joke, Brandy. I'm only playing. Anyway.
Well, some of my favorite people came from AA. Ron White, he said he credits his whole comedy career from AA, where I guess he was sentenced to join or something over a sobriety issue or drinking and driving issue. And then, but he got there and he was telling so many jokes that he never left. So he became an instructor. And then eventually everyone's like, you're in the wrong place. You should be like over at the bar or on stage.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, same thing for me. Same difference. It's just, yeah, it's a spirit of owning reality, brother. And sort of being what would you call it? Like not being soft with each other. That's what good families do. They thicken up your skin, and it's not about being brutal in a bad spirit. It's about in a good. Like my dad was pretty harsh. He was a truth teller, but he was harsh with it. He could be cruel, and he was on occasion, unnecessarily so. But I think in the right spirit, this is how we classically would break the ice, shoot the shit, clear the air. So I like a culture like this, especially in a new woke environment. This is a sort of cool little place to be able to create where people can hopefully handle being in the arena, everybody, because if you can't handle it here, the heat here, then how are you going to handle what's kind of coming, if you see what I mean? So Mank, I love you really, brother. Brandy knows I love her. And anyone who's offended, I do, I apologize, but it should be okay. Let's get over it. Anyway,
Yeah, it's always fun to throw an elbow too.
say that again, Joshua. Sorry, mate.
It's always fun to throw an elbow or two. Just part of the
I'm
game.
muting you. Icon, I'm muting you because your mic mute discipline is terrible, Icon. So I'm just going to scold you and say, learn to mute your mic, mate. What the fuck? Say it one more time, Joshua. I do apologize.
Oh, throwing an elbow or two is a part of the game.
Right.
It's just
exactly.
a little
Yeah,
gentle jabbing.
play fire. Yeah, exactly. Well, look, when I get on a little mean streak, like a little moody one, I can be a bit moody. Not broody, actually. I don't want a child. No, I mean moody. I can get on a bit of a moody one. Apologies, everyone. I'm just a fucking moody little bitch. I've only had 4 hours sleep, and fuck you all.
What time
So
is
how
it
is
in
the-
the UK
how is
right
the-
now?
Well, it's actually 2:20 in the morning, but my sleep's been utterly backwards for the most part. I keep trying to get it back in, but I'm failing miserably.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So what do you
I
do
know.
during the day? You said you're a musician?
Well, dude, currently, and especially for the last 2 months, I've been essentially being all about this and refurbishing a flat.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my whole life and whole existence is about designing a whole new existence and life for myself. So I've been all about that. Although I've been very loose for the last 2 weeks and been solely about stupid sleep hours and YouTube. But I've had workmen in the flat doing bits and bobs, but it needs my own personal attention again. So I need to try and get my sleep in, get back over there, finish the damn thing off. I've got the internet being installed on Friday, Wi-Fi installed, and oh, by the way, Joshua, did you see the mic I got? By the way,
Which what?
let me show you this. Hang on. Did you see the webcam I just bought?
No, I didn't see that. What is it?
It's inspired by
4K
you.
live streaming.
Live streamer Cam 513. It's an Ava Media. It's the best you can get.
Yeah, give it a go. That
Well-
A10 Mini I was pointing you to, it allows you to do multiple cameras, and it'll stream
looked-
to. Go ahead.
That was too expensive for me, and it wasn't. It was more. That was more an interface thing that could get me. I don't need multiple cameras currently. I need one good camera.
Hmm.
So it wasn't what I needed, brother. But I respected it. And what it did though is kick me up the ass to get shopping. So I shopped around, did a bunch of shootouts, and the Ava Media, not a sponsor yet, live streamer. What's it called? 513. It's the best you're gonna get. Trust me. I'm not lax when it comes to that. So best you're gonna get before a mirrorless camera, basically.
Good job. Yeah.
Yes.
Those
So I've got-
DSLRs get a little pricey.
Well, that was set me back probably 150 quid, which was reasonable for what it is. But I'm going to have to upgrade to a whole new MacBook Pro with the M1 chips. So I'm actually about to buy $3,000 worth of 14-inch MacBook Pro, brother.
Yeah, I got one coming, the 16-inch, but
No-
that should
no.
have a HD on it, but it's not 4K.
Oh, what's that? What do you mean? What's that about? What's not 4K?
Oh, they upgraded the cameras on the MacBooks from 720 to HD,
Ah,
which is
that's right.
1024p.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah, but it's not quite 4K yet. I see. That's insane. That is mad that they're behind on that. Well, like I said, I'll have the capabilities to have 4K if I want it, but I'm not less interested in that. I'm just more interested in general quality. But let's bring Icon in anyway, because I need to hear from Icon. How are you doing, Icon? Oh shit, I've muted the. Oh, he's on. Are you unmuted yet,
Yeah, I'm
Icon?
good. I'm here.
How are you doing? How are you doing, brother? What you up to, mate? What are you up to?
I'm doing good. I'm just having a smoke at the moment.
Respect. Is there anything you want to get? In fact, can I leave you, Lindsay, and Wagon? In fact, Wagon's walked off. Can I leave you guys to get into it because I'm dying for a piss and a tea.
Sure, have a piss and a tea. All good, mate. All good.
Perfect. And pull the tampon out of my ass as well while
Yeah,
I'm at it.
little
So,
teeny tiny.
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
got
get it.
one.
all
It's
right.
got
Well,
one
thank you.
circuit on it. Be careful.
That's right, Icon. Exactly right, mate. All right, I'll be back very soon, about 5, but I'll see you all in a sec, all right?
All right, so who's driving?
Well, I
Oh,
can't.
This
we're all
wagon's driving.
We're all sitting in the back seat.
We've all been put in our car seats.
Yep, there you go.
So why do you guys like the stream? Or what do you
It's
think of
fun.
the stream?
It is fun.
Yeah.
It's a
Kind
lot
of
of fun.
reminds me of.
It reminds me of my childhood.
Oh, how so?
A lot of ball breaking.
Yeah, it seems like a less serious version of Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Oh, it's an app on your phone where everyone calls in, and apparently there's in number of people that are watching, kind of like what's going on right here.
Are you going to turn your camera on too?
No, I'm actually in the dark right now, smoking.
That makes two of us.
Let's all smoke on camera, shall we?
Sure.
Except Joshua, who's
Smoke
in the
if you
dark.
got 'em.
Shall we? Shall we have a fag?
Absolutely.
So where are you guys from?
Icon.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
Wisconsin. The home of the cheese curds
And beer.
and beer.
Yep.
Really? A lot of breweries there?
There are a ton of microbreweries, and we still have the major label Miller down in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, Milwaukee.
Yep.
I'm from New Jersey.
Are you still in New Jersey?
Yeah, I'm still in New Jersey.
Good times.
Born and raised. And yes. Where are you from? Are you West
California?
Coast?
California?
Yeah,
So
I think
I'm
I
over
remember you
in-
saying you're West Coast.
Yeah, I'm in the Bay, hanging out with all the nerds.
Right on.
Yeah, no judgment. No judgment. As if you expected some. I'm from California. Just
It's not what it used to be.
no, you're right.
Every time I leave California, I feel like I go through some sort of time warp. Like I go to Austin quite a bit. I feel like I'm transporting back to the 90s or early 2000s.
That's
Those were
about
good
it.
times. Those were good times.
I'm not saying it wasn't. In fact, the music's better.
Much better.
Whereas here in the Bay, it's just everything. Like there's scooters everywhere and people from all over the world, and everyone seems like they hate it. It's kind of, which is strange. It's like, well, why'd you come here? They like the weather.
Yeah. That's why people go to Florida, which I don't understand. It's hot. It's too hot.
I think it's taxes and Republicans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
old
about right.
people. Everyone loves old people.
I think that's a pleasant surprise or an unpleasant surprise. They figure out when they get there. They're like, wait a second, is this a retirement community?
It's an entire state full of wisdom,
Is it?
I guess. Or maybe it's lost wisdom because everyone has dementia. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what? That's what they
What?
say. I do like the Four Seasons.
Four Seasons?
Mhm.
The
It's a
hotel?
paradox that many like Four Seasons. I like them. I like the Four Seasons. Yeah, summer, spring, fall, and winter. Have you heard of them, Joshua?
No, we have t-shirt weather and not t-shirt weather.
I see. You have t-shirt weather and long sleeve t-shirt weather.
We have hot and wet. That's it.
Hot and warm.
Hot and wet.
Yeah.
You know what time of year it is by how long the traffic is.
I had a good time in San Diego when I went.
San Diego rocks. My brother
Yeah.
lives over there.
For sure. I've only
How's,
been to San Diego and San Francisco. What?
Go ahead. You've been to San Diego and San Francisco?
Yeah.
What do you think of SF?
Hilly.
Very hilly.
Hilly and baggy.
Peggy?
I was kind of young. I was like 15 when I went there, and it was only for a day. It was a layover on my way to Hawaii, so I didn't really spend too much time there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you don't really know a place until you've been there for a few months.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I had a layover in Iceland once, but I didn't get to see it.
No. I can't see the chat. What's going on in the chat?
Paradox says that weather has become more like Georgia, mild winters. We got the weather people in here now. Icon. Michael Haywood said, Icon, you're giving me that hitman waiting on his target vibe.
I do that
Does that work?
sometimes. Man.
Go ahead.
Oh my God. Yep.
How much is the target?
Michael Haywood said, piss off, Josh.
Oh,
Fuck, Michael.
do
Is
I
that the
rub
real
him the
Michael
wrong way?
Haywood? Or is that the shooter, Michael Haywood? I think that's a real Michael Haywood. What's your problem, Michael? Jelly? You don't have a camera? He can only be the peanut gallery.
It's not for everybody.
I don't even know how much it's for me, but I'm here.
So do you go over to New York very often, or?
Not very often, no. I try to avoid that type of traffic, but I have gone up to Massachusetts, Connecticut. So you have to drive through New York to get there. So
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
used
gone up
to.
as far as Maine yet. What'd you say?
Oh, I used to work for GE. They're up in New York. They moved over to Boston, and I was always just surprised, like how foresty the place was. I was like, I thought this was supposed to be a big city, and they're like, oh, that's just a little island.
Upstate. Were
Hi,
you in
what's
city
back?
or
Yeah.
or were you're upstate?
Are you getting
Niskayuna.
on?
So
Oh, sorry.
it was upstate. And then I spent some time in upstate, and I was just like, where's all the people?
Yeah. Yeah, upstate New York is quite unpopulated. Are you shooting me?
No, Icon. How you doing? Did you have a good
Icon
chat? I
said
mean,
hitman.
how was that? I know Joshua was sort of going to drive that thing, or I think you.
Oh, was
I
I?
don't know. I left when everyone was saying everyone's on the back seat or something. But God, how's it go?
Well,
Had-
Michael Haywood said, wagon only goes to New York to work on corners. Oh, Michael, you know me so well.
I missed that. Sorry. StreamYard, totally horrible reception. Just didn't get any of that, honey. You can repeat it if you want, but I know it's annoying me asking you to repeat everything all the time. But I'm just going to trust that it was funny, but I missed it, honey. It's fucking StreamYard, stupid reception. Right. Oh, street corners. Haha. What, Michael? Very funny. What was I going to say? What did you get into? Anything good? What were you getting into?
No. I think we were just saying greetings.
Oh, right. You're just saying hello to. What do you think of Joshua? What do you think of Icon's setup, man? It's a nice shot, that isn't it? His wooden wall.
I can't really see it. I'm on my iPhone.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
It looks like
so
that's how it grew.
It's
'cause I mean, so
it's the standard like 70s oak paneling, but it's genuine
Yeah.
oak. It's
Really?
not like printed veneer.
Nice.
There's a lot of
Very
oak
nice.
in this house, like all the shelves and all the trim around the doors and stuff.
You could
And
tell it's
then-
real.
Oh yeah. And then
I-
upstairs we have a library that's built into the house, and that's all walls full of oak shelves. It's beautiful.
Nice. Active shooter would have a field day there, mate.
Yeah, you would.
Oh yeah.
so you're just building the compound out in Wisconsin?
Right.
As best I can.
Awesome.
Nice, mate. Well, Joshua, have you got anything in particular you'd fancy getting into, mate? Honestly, What's-
Not specifically.
you got no
it was
bee
just more
in
try-
your. Go on. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you got no bee in your bonnet. You got no issue. You got no current thing you're working on. Where's your mind at? Where we at? What's going on? What's going on in your world?
Well, I'm currently working on 2 videos. One is CRT and the other one's ESG. Are you guys familiar with either of those?
I don't know. What do they stand for?
Critical race theory. So
Oh, yeah.
they're shoving
Yeah,
that through the schools and everything.
That's
And then
right. that's right.
ESG is a credit score based off of how environmentally friendly you or your company is. So they're gonna start withholding services and stuff based off of like how much gas or heat or electricity you use.
That's okay. Wow. Okay. I know that they want to go that way, but you found the actual platform that they're going to turn it into the credit score system.
Yeah, it's called ESG. It's Eco something credit, Eco social credit. But basically, if you look at, I don't know, I guess you're in the UK, but here in the Bay in PG&E, they have they basically have all of Northern California, and then I think Edison Electric has all of Southern California. And they're rating all the houses and comparing you to your neighbors. And then based off of that comparison, they're going to alter your energy rates. But then at the same time, they're trying to push everyone to electric cars and whatever. So then you're going like, okay, so you're going to have everyone go to electric cars, but you're not going to increase the production of electricity, and you're supposed to use it through your house. And if you don't get a certain score on this ESG score, they're going to deny you electricity. So therefore, they'll deny you transportation, they'll deny you banking, they'll deny you heat, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Rough,
And so,
man. That sounds like a. Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's
No, I was
true.
just going to say that's.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Wagon. Go. Well, I was just going to quickly say, and Wagon can come in. Sounds like that's a video that needs to be made, brother. So that sounds really cool. Wagon, what you say?
I mean, my theory is that that's why they are trying to ban natural gas and fossil fuels, because they want everybody to be reliant on electricity because it's easier to shut it down.
That's exactly it. Plus, once you're on an electric vehicle, if they're autonomous, then they could just say, "Oh, you owe me money for a traffic ticket." Lock the doors, drive your car to the police station.
Yep.
You don't get it back until you pay up, or.
And
But
good
the whole
luck
debanking
getting
thing.
heating
Go
oil or propane to heat your house.
Well, a lot of people are starting to get wise to it, myself included. And so, like, I just put in a generator so you don't use the public stuff so much. And the reason why I went with a generator as opposed to solar was because the solar is like 30, 40 grand to take a 3,000 square foot off the grid, whereas a $5,000 liquid natural gas generator could do it for 5,000. And so, but you can artificially manipulate your credit score by doing these things. So they're going to take your financial credit score and your ESG score, they're going to combine them and then decide, and then that accumulates into what they're calling a social credit score, which is what they already have in China. So a lot of those same technologies, they're just applying it back to here.
right?
Yeah, well, I know they've. Sorry.
But don't you think that? Go ahead.
No, I was just
Go
gonna.
ahead,
I. Sorry, there's a delay, honey. So I do apologize. I would have let you go for it. I was just gonna say, I'm aware that they pretty much, as a baseline, what goes on in China, they want to bring to the West as well. That's all I was going to add to that. But go on, Wagon.
But as far as getting rid of natural gas and fossil fuels, that's not going to help with a generator. Because I feel like eventually, I mean, in certain states, people are ratting on their neighbors just for burning in their wood stove.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like here in California, you can't even have a wood fireplace.
Well, that's the thing. They want the monopoly, and they want it to be electricity because it's easier for them to control and shut down.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
So IoT, Internet of Things, that's what that's all about. So once you automate everything, then they can control it. So just think of a giant game of StarCraft is basically what they're attempting to do. That's why I was poking Hivelyst the other day about Starlink, was because that's part of the global control as opposed to just control in dense cities with infrastructure.
Well, supposedly, Joshua, I'd have to just push back. Supposedly, because I still don't buy the, and I really mean this, Joshua. I'm going to throw down on this. I don't
Okay.
buy. Yeah, I don't buy that what they could do in a ground-based way. Now, I understand that they would necessarily do by floating that same infrastructure up in the sky. I've never believed in satellites anyway. There's no actually legitimate proof for satellites. You might then we may construct them, but where's the evidence that they're up there as space junk or floating around operational? There's zero evidence. The point is, you have the odd one apparently come down, right? But whatever. That's the least you would expect for them. So just to finish the point, Joshua, real quick, I'll just say that I understand your case you make for this, parts of the world that aren't easily accessible, that necessarily you might want to fly that sort of infrastructure in such a way that you'd have access to it there. But it's unreasonable since, essentially, it's just not a reasonable proposition to me that something that would exist hundreds of miles up in the air would suffice. Whereas, why would we do that and not build the same stuff on the ground? It's irrational. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it at all.
Okay. So I always resort to the trust but verify thing. So if you can't verify it, I trust that the people that are talking about this know what they're talking about. But I've also had to create the notion that, like flat Earth is a line of thinking. It's a way of thinking about things. Christianity is a way of thinking about things. Mormons is a flavor of Christianity, is a way of thinking about things. So I can understand what you're saying without having to believe it. Like I'll go learn about each one of these things individually without passing a judgment, whether it's true or not, or saying I believe or don't believe in it. But you can learn about it. You can kind of understand where they're coming from on some of these things and see where it intersects in reality. And to the flat earthers point, you can't really verify the Earth thing unless you go up into space, right? Or you somehow Jeff Bezos or Richard Branson or Musk and friends and get up there. So I take that point kind of seriously because it's like, well, they do lie to us quite a bit, right? So let's see what they're doing with their current endeavors with Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic and SpaceX and friends, and let's see if they can verify, everything we've been told about going to the moon or not. We're going to know that from today going within probably 10 years. They either do it or they don't. It's a do or die sort of situation. If they don't do it, I think the flat earthers will have tons of evidence to prove their points on why they couldn't do it or whatever. On the other side,
why they couldn't do what? Why couldn't do what?
Go to the moon and Mars.
Right, I see.
That's what they're working on right now. In fact, I mean, according to Musk, what did he say? He wants 6 starships to Mars over the next 6 years, and so 2 every 2 years, because that's roughly the time it takes to get to Mars, and start sending robots and material and supplies to Mars so that they could start building the space colony by 2028. And the issue with Musk is he always overpromises and overdelivers. So he might be saying 2028, but it might be more like 2032. But we should start seeing movement or launches somewhere in the next. It's 2021 now. The first launch was supposed to go in 2022. So if he misses that window in 22, then it'll be 24. My point is if you watch this, regardless of which lens you're looking at this from, you should be able to verify your position or falsify your position. It doesn't really matter. One way, inevitably, it's going to be proven true or false, right? And so I'm kind of watching for those reasons.
Well, sure, but there's already enough evidence in to have certain things verified that you failed to have verified for your own satisfaction, Joshua. Least of all of them, the space station. How much of the harnesses? Have you seen the footage of people using harnesses on the space station? All that sort of nonsense.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've
So
also
do you
seen
believe?
Muppet Field and met astronauts and seen launches.
Well,
So I can see how it's confusing.
Well, allegedly, sure, but if we stick to that just one point, I mean, do you believe though that there is a legitimate space station, and to what extent have we actually seen the real thing, if there is one? Like what we've seen, it's provably, if you really deep dive into it, and this comes down to how much you've actually deep dived into it, but you actually look at it, I mean, a lot of what they're doing up there is clearly falsified. It's not real. So to what extent do people still believe in one, though, is the question there, I'd say, first and foremost.
I think there is one. I think there is. I'm not a flat earther.
No, I know, but why do you think there is one? What's your evidence?
I've literally been to Muppet Field. It's an international space station. They launch rockets and stuff from there all the time. In fact, it's next door to Google.
But that's not. But hang on, I've noticed you're in the habit of saying things quite confidently, Joshua. Even your first one, when you said, "Yeah, I know you're convinced yourself," but what I'm saying is what did you actually bear witness to? You haven't actually.
Rocket launches in Texas with SpaceX. Rocket launches.
But the claims there that they still launch projectiles into the air. There's no one saying that doesn't happen. Yeah, so that doesn't amount to evidence of the actual existence of the space station. When I ask what evidence do you have of an actual existing space station that's functional, that's anything close to what they claim it is, when all of the footage from there appears to be falsified, like I'm saying, what's the actual
even in
evidence?
even in the flat Earth theory, doesn't mean that you couldn't have a international space station or satellites. It just means that you think the Earth is flat as opposed to a ball. Like it's obviously not paper thin. Right. If anything,
but what you're doing is escaping the question there, aren't you? Because you're positing something.
I'm not
new.
trying to. I'm trying to answer as directly as I can.
Well, I know that's fine, man. But I'm just saying that, I'm challenging your own. You're good at framing something in a way that you've got into. You're an intelligent bloke, and you sort of. I notice you sort of validate your positions in a quite convincing way. So you would be quite good at debates, regardless of what it is you're debating, just because your style or something. You use even the first term you set out with that. What was that thing you said about trust or verify? I totally disagree with that as a premise. Right, trust or verify. What's that?
But verify. It's a
Trust
Churchill. It's a Churchill saying from World War II.
I utterly disagree with that as an approach, especially when the validation or the trust would come from the supposed experts who are actually in this case being refuted themselves. So I don't think you can trust from the supposed experts when there's so much corruption. Potentially, Joshua, there's so much corruption in these institutions.
No, I'm with you, but the act of knowledge or seeking knowledge is you have to take what people say seriously and then go investigate it and verify what they're saying. And once you start falsifying what they're saying, then you can mark them as an unreliable source or a liar or deceitful, so on and so forth.
By that logic, NASA is completely we can't trust them anymore. They've lied about too much stuff, least of all the first moon landing. Can we agree on that? Right.
I'm with you, but I've literally been. The institution lies, sure. Individuals within the institution lie, that's true. But there still are these things called missions, and they still achieve certain things. And the things that I can verify leads me to believe that we have an international space station, we have things like Voyagers and satellites and stuff. I personally can't go to space and verify it with my own eyes, but we're
Right.
seeing even what's his face, William Shatner of all people, going up to space. Never mind what he says about it or thinks about it. The fact that they're putting celebrities up or billionaires up into space
Freemasons.
is
More
well,
Freemasons.
hey, I come from a Mormon family and they're hyper Masons, so don't get me going. That's fine.
Right.
George Washington was a Mason, for example. But
Yeah.
the point is, they're still doing things. And so it's not what they say that I'm trying to trust, it's what they
Well,
do.
they're faking space for the public. If you look at it, there's more. It looks more. In fact, if I laid that out as a narrative form, because in a way, there's a narrative form intended to be satisfied in either case. Your case is that they're legitimately doing missions because, in your belief, they're doing some sort of activity as it pertains to space and the likes, I guess. And then in my case, they're faking space for in public view. And I think I'd argue that there's far more evidence that Shatner going to space is achieving my
Well, I don't
preferred
think
narrative.
Shatner actually went to space. I think he just went up really high.
Well, yeah,
Like-
right. And you've actually said that to me before, to be fair. And then the question becomes, well, why can't they seem to break a low Earth orbit? With
The
any
what,
of these?
Kuiper belt or something, the radiation thing. That's
Right.
interesting. I never heard of that. And it was some flat earthers that were saying that.
Yes.
Good
yeah.
points. But we should be able to verify that as they're supposedly going to the moon and Mars. If they don't go to the moon and Mars in the next 10 years, we're going to hear all the excuses.
Well,
and
my
we're gonna
point
see
to
all
you
the-
is, but my
Go ahead.
point to you is, we can already get there without waiting. There's already so much that can be verified. The space station is provably being faked, really. Like you just have to. In fact, hey, and Bigfoot Anon, can you drop me that video for Joshua, please, Bigfoot Anon, of the faked space station things, harnesses and stuff? Because I watched that the other day and it was brilliant, mate. Drop that in the chat for me for Joshua. Why are they faking that? Why? That's what it appears to be, that they're faking the damn thing. Number one. Number
Your
two, we
question-
know they're fake.
I don't claim to know if they were faking it or not. And I don't claim to know why they would be
Well,
faking it if they were. or
All right,
not.
let me couch it in a more reasonable way. What I'm trying to say is that the burden falls to them to prove to us at this rate that it's real, because there's so much evidence to bring into question the legitimacy of the space station. And I think that's
So let them do it.
Right. So what? No, but what I'm saying to you, Joshua, is reasonable people such as ourselves then ought to step
Sure.
away from the presumption that there is one, and actually we admit that we're yet to know it. And so there's a lot about the current cosmology, as you seem to understand it, Joshua, that you still allow to remain in existence in your imagination, that's as of yet not truly proven if you're sort of really facing up to the facts of the matter. Least of all, this physics of water clinging to a supersonic spinning ball, and I ain't fucking around with that. Like, that's ridiculous, and I know you're a smart guy. Like, how can that be a possibility? You actually, that's what they expect you to believe in, and I think that's a nonsense, really.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, there's a lot of questionable things in especially physics or theoretical physics that's questionable, right? Like, what's the difference between gravity and electromagnetism? They've never proven that there is a graviton, for example.
No, they haven't. Right.
But we know a whole hell of a lot about electricity and how that works. And, we can go into that if you want. We also know that things like string theory has yet to be proven. And in fact, it seems doubtful, right? A lot of these theoretical physicists will tell you all kinds of crazy things with zero evidence. And then they would pass it off as if it's fact or something. And then they'll show you some equations that don't really make any sense. And you can argue with that as well. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the things that you can actually see or play with. So Starlink, as a developer, I could literally connect to it. I could send information packets back and forth, and it works. So from what I understand, is it's only like, I don't know, I don't know how many miles up in the sky it is, but it's in lower orbit, and that's why it's so effective. But there's other ways you could do that with blimps or fiber, the transatlantic cable that goes between the US and Europe. There's tons of data that goes through that.
Right.
There's a lot of things that you can't verify, but you have to trust it somehow works if you're actually touching and playing with these technologies. The fact that we're talking now.
Hang on. Yeah, but that premise there, I totally disagree with that last bit. You keep
Which
doing
piece?
that, and the bit where you have to trust in some amount of it. Like, I agree that we're using this technology works, but not necessarily for reasons anywhere near what they posit to us. So
Well, let me pose you a question then.
What?
We're talking right now, and you're in the UK, and I'm in California. And can you tell me exactly how the technology that enables this works? Like all of it?
No, of course not.
No, but it works, right?
Sure, but but my point to you then was that bit, in terms of its actual utility, we don't have to trust anything to do with how it works in order to know that it does, and therefore to use it. But whereas you
But
would
this
hang on,
issue
hang on.
about flat Earth
Hang on, hang on,
challenges
hang on.
how this
Joshua-
technology actually works.
But Joshua,
Like,
just hang on, you're running away
Sorry.
from me because
Go ahead.
what you were doing with the trust, you were insisting that we ought to trust a bit about Elon Musk's couching
it's a
of
famous
what he's
quote:
doing.
"Trust but verify."
No, I know, but I'm positing to you that you're stretching the bit of the trust to apply to aspects of Elon Musk's own narrative about what he's doing. You don't have to trust anything to do with that there's 5G in the air. You don't have to trust that Elon Musk is telling you one thing that's true. You don't have to trust that Elon Musk is telling one fucking truth. So whereas you keep sort of going there, mate, and so I'm just being intellectually straight with you and being honest with you.
Mhm.
You don't need to trust anything about what Elon Musk is saying he's doing. You don't.
I'm sure you should be skeptical of Musk and friends. I tend to like
Yeah.
Musk more than Branson or
I don't like
or
him any more than
Bezos.
I don't like him any more than anyone. He's a Satanist little bitch who's fucking all about
Who is he?
PR and selling his fucking latest thing. He's selling space. Look, to my liking, he could well be. Let's put it this way: he could well be faking space better than NASA, and that's the game, isn't it? So as far as I'm concerned, when he puts that car into space and that whole LARP, he's just showing off that he can fake space better than NASA's ever been able to, and so he's now in that business. That's the business Branson is sort of getting into, it seems, as well, in an aspect of that. And so what it does is, to most people's satisfaction, it'll cover most bases. And I'm just throwing out a narrative. I'm not verifying any of this. I'm just telling you that's one reasonable case to make about what all of that ties together everything we're seeing. You don't have to believe in 5G in the sky. You don't, there are other ways that could be explained away. I don't trust any of it, mate. Least of all, it's irrational to have to connect us when we do a perfectly good job of doing it in a ground-based way. I mean, why would you float these satellites 100 miles away from Earth when in fact, especially 5G technology requires proximity for it to work properly based on the wavelengths involved. So I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. It's irrational.
Okay.
Same with water clinging to a spinning ball that's supersonic, mate. Utterly irrational for me. So anyway, but what I might do is respond to me on that one if you want to, Joshua. But otherwise, let's get the other two guys in because we can't just hog the fucking screen.
I'm not trying to. I'm just responding.
No.
Wagon.
No, you're good, mate. You're good.
Icon, what do you think?
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, same here. I was chilling out in the chat, letting y'all hash out the round Earth
I have
versus the
music
flat Earth.
playing in the background in my thing.
I might say to Joshua, actually, I might float this to Joshua because this is one that, and I'll leave it here, Joshua, just something to meditate on. Why doesn't the Earth rotate? Why doesn't the Moon Why do we only see one face of the moon? That's irrational. What is it about? Why is it locked into the orbit it's in? Now, I know you could float a bunch of Newtonian physics at me possibly, but it's actually still irrational and unintuitive why we only see one face of the moon and why it doesn't rotate on an axis as you might expect. There must be some property to do with the moon that would explain why one face is attracted to us. But it is a big problem for the ball Earth model. I'll just throw that out there. It really is a big problem. It's very strange.
Yeah, I don't claim to be a physicist that knows all these things, but I did see a flat Earth video on the subject, and the explanation was that the moon is spinning, but it's equivalent to the speed of the Earth's spin, and supposedly as it rotates around us, one side of it happens, which sounds very strange, happens to be facing the Earth at all times.
Yeah.
Which, to your point, sounds extremely strange and would beg a lot of questions to where you would want to prove it to the point where people supposedly, the people that created this explanation, they're like, you're right. That's why we created this explanation, was to answer that question.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
Exactly.
it's convincing or compelling.
No.
I'm just saying that's what they said.
Right, and the same goes for Polaris. Why is, you know, I don't want to actually get into it. I'm just throwing them out there. There are genuine problems with their model. And I'm just saying to you as a reasonable guy, like, I just think to you, I'm just saying to you as a brother, full transparency, I reckon stepping away from so many presumptions, because you are already sold, I think, by a set of presumptions to do with the cosmology that's being sold to you, projected to you by NASA. I'd step away from that if you were truly set in truth, brother, because there's a lot wrong with it potentially. But that's just my advice to you. You do what the fuck you want. That's what I'd say, honestly.
Pardon your French.
Oh, well,
No,
we can swear here, mate. We can swear here. You know, it's part of the dry humor. You know, don't worry
I'm
about
teasing.
it.
I'm teasing.
Good,
No,
good.
it's fine. Like, I'm not persuaded by the flat Earth stuff.
Well, I'm not a
and so
flat
then I
earther,
kinda-
don't forget. I'm not saying that. I just refuted the ball. I don't claim to be a flat earther, actually. I really don't.
Yeah, but don't you think it's curious that flat Earth used to be the default position before Galileo, and then Galileo comes along, and then eventually some other people like Newton and friends, and
Yeah,
then
but that
it
doesn't mean
changes
that
the
the-
whole
the-
perspective.
Sure, but that doesn't mean that the new perspective was more sophisticated, because that's the presumption you're floating there. What it means is potentially that.
No, I'm saying it's curious. I'm not saying one's better than the other. What if there's a third explanation that neither of us are talking about, right?
Hey,
What
man,
if it's a cylinder as opposed to a flat disc? What if it's
Exactly.
a square?
Exactly. So
you
I
know?
don't claim to know. I don't actually claim to know, but I know one thing it isn't, brother, because I've applied the scientific method to this. It's not water stuck to a supersonic spinning ball. I know, really mean that. That's one thing it is not. And I'd like someone such with your IQ to realize that fact also, because it's realizable. It's absolutely realizable. What it is, don't fucking know. Plasma. There's a lot of interesting theories, but fuck it. You know, I mean, it just isn't a spinning ball.
Well, here's what I do is I will listen to this perspective and try to follow it to its logical conclusion or illogical conclusion. Like, I'm not saying I know better one way or the other, but I'm willing to work on it. And if I'm going to do the work, you know, or read the book, I'm going to write the book report, hence the videos. From everything I've seen so far, it seems like there is a moon and a Mars in the solar system, and they're desperately working to get to the moon or Mars. So we should learn a whole bunch about this.
But it doesn't look that way
And-
to me, brother. It doesn't look that way at all to me. I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, none of that stuff, all that, the jury's out on all that stuff in truth. There's a consensus, but it's a manufactured consensus. Yes, there might be moving stars. There are stars that have a particular, you know, that move, that wandering stars that we call the planets. But it doesn't amount to evidence that there are an actual solar system that resembles anything close to what NASA posits, brother. Really. I mean, that's a fantasy. Really,
Shoot
I
me the
mean,
links, I'll check them out and I'll compile something.
go and look, dude. I know. I trust your own ability to do it. It's whether or not you've got the willingness to realize it. Really, is the question. I mean it because it doesn't take much
Well,
to refute their pictures, their NASA's images. They're all
You seem to
they're all
keep
fake.
ignoring this point I keep throwing to you, is that they're
What?
trying to go now. And therefore, we should be watching now to see what they actually do with our own eyes in real time, not 30 years after the fact, but right now. Can they get to the moon? Can they, according to them, not just the American Air Force, but the Chinese one, they want to go mine minerals from the moon and start building spaceships to go to Mars. And
That's all
when they go to
fantasy,
Mars,
dude. It's all
this
story.
is what they're trying. This is what they have a 5-year plan around. So my point, and I keep bringing this up, is let's watch to see what actually happens.
Well, no,
Because then it's no longer hearsay. It's now
hang on, that's
first-hand
not true.
knowledge.
No. Let me tell you this, because this is the deal. That's not science. Shouldn't be. Look, that's fakeable, Joshua. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're getting to the point where the current technology that we have, you could fake anything at this rate. So a bit of footage of us getting to the moon. I mean, let's just look at Elon Musk's supposedly putting a car in space. That was quite well done. Let's put it that way. They can, of course, fake going to the moon. They already did a half crap job at it already, but it's only going to improve their ability to fake space. So that doesn't amount to evidence in either case, Joshua. What we want, though, is an actual intellectual refutation in either case of the theory posited that we live on a spinning ball Earth surrounded by a partial vacuum. That you can do without having to leave your living room. That's what I'm interested in, because they can fake going to the fucking moon. I mean that.
Of course, you can fake it on video, but you can't fake actual rockets going there. And
Well, how would you?
stuff
How
back.
would you? Unless you go yourself, how would you know either case? And honestly, they're getting to the point where they could probably fake the experience of you going there too, the way things are going, so you won't even know what's real, what's not. At any rate, my
Well,
point
I have
to
a
you,
pretty
and I'm
firm grip on technology, especially CG and all that sort of stuff.
right.
I've done a lot of it myself. I've worked in
Right,
tech.
so I know you know what I
in
mean.
film.
Then deep fakes and whatnot, right? You know
Yeah,
what they're
and
capable of.
I'm saying that the technology is not that good.
Mate,
I mean,
the deep
we wish.
hang on,
It's
well, how
getting
could you
better.
claim that? I mean, hang on a second. Let me put it to you this way: what the level that the technology is at currently that we know about, and we know that military technology tends to be a lot more far advanced than what we know about in any case. The technology we know about.
That's not what my army buddies are telling me. They're telling me that, and by the way, this is coming from IBM cybersecurity guys, right? I was just talking to them last month over a job interview.
Well, they're
And
not doing
they're
a very good
saying-
job if they're telling you shit that you're going to leak to me on my YouTube channel, are they? So I don't really know
Well,
if this is. Have
This
they got
interview for
security
the job,
clearances?
the guy came from Cyber Command from.
Well, yeah, but you know what the
Anyways.
compartmentalization of any of these institutions is like. I don't know if I can take it on first-hand knowledge that they are representative of the true state of the technology. What I'm doing is I'm
Well, I was going to share with you
my
a thought
assumption.
or a notion.
Well, sorry,
The thought is this. The thought is that the military was more advanced in digital stuff via the NSA, CIA, and friends up until about 1990, and the Silicon Valley and friends, even though they were funded by a lot of military and a lot of spooks, leapfrogged them. And now, because of that, say the CIA, for example, in 2000 created IQT, In-Q-Tel. If you go to iqt.com or org or Google that real quick, it's the CIA's venture capital arm. And you'll see in their portfolio startups, 1,000 startups that are currently funded by the CIA. And the goal of the CIA's In-Q-Tel is to fund all the tools and technology that they need to continue their mission of spying and being a superpower, right? And half of these companies will get bought up by Google and friends, and then they will report back to the NSA or some of the, what was the research arm? I forget their name. But anyways, they will report back either the data or they'll buy up and sell them the technology. And so what I'm getting at here is that somewhere around the 80s or 90s, the digital technology, not the physics, not the nuclear warheads or the space stuff, the digital stuff has superseded what the military was capable of doing at that time. DARPA is the name I was looking for. And you see that with things like SpaceX, where supposedly Elon Musk is going off and buying Russian rockets minus the nuclear warhead for a couple $100 million or something. It was unable to do that, so he started building it himself, and was successful by using off-the-shelf components because everything in NASA's budget was bloated due to aerospace finance, where if they have a patent on it, they'll double, triple, quadruple the cost of it. So if you go read Musk's book, I think it's called Deep Space or something like that. Google Elon Musk book, SpaceX. It should pop right up. And in it, he's talking about how because of these patents and the way that they fund everything in aerospace, they grinded to a halt because it was too expensive to put up a $30 million payload into space. So they were charging $200 million for a rocket that you can only use one time.
I'll be honest with you.
Okay,
I'm not really focused on what you're saying because you just escaped off into telling me a whole bunch of bollocks. So point you were initially, thank you. The point you were initially making, right? I was just finding it humorful that you'd still used it as an opportunity to pad out your reality, which is all the nonsense. It's all like are you an Elon Musk fanboy? Because telling me about where he's sourcing some fucking warheads, that's all a nonsense. It's all a LARP fest. I mean, prove any of that shit to me. I don't buy any of that.
If I'm going to listen to Flat Earthers' version of events, I have to take them seriously.
Hang on. Well, hang on a second. What I'm
if
saying
I'm going to
is,
take, okay.
No, that's not my point to you. Is you started making a point, then you're going off on one. You're telling me you're making some other point. The point we've started on. I'm
just trying to explain. I'm not trying to lie to you or anything. I'm just trying to explain my point of view. And what I'm saying is my point of view is not a flat Earth point of view. So I'm trying to elaborate.
I know what you're trying to do. You were elaborating, that's for sure. It was elaborative. You were padding things out. But look, to take, I thought you were going to push back on a particular point because otherwise you're just going to go off and start describing to me things I know are false, or at least it's one person's version of events. I'm not trying to.
But
do
how
that
do you know it's false exactly? Let's push back on your knowledge and the truth.
Because I'm not positing. I'm not in the game of positing anything positive per se. Really, I'm more about refuting the claims being made by certain institutions, whereas you're half bought into a lot of them. That's what's happening here right now.
Well, I've seen a lot of it. My dad was in aerospace for 40 years. My wife's family.
You keep saying that, but people think they see fairies in the fucking forest and shit, dude. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean...
Yeah, but this is a resume. This isn't a fairy in a forest. And I'm trying to refrain from using my French.
You could use your French, dude.
To be polite.
You don't have to be polite.
I'm trying to use plain English here. I'm not trying to make this an emotionally charged thing one way or the other. But what I'm trying to explain from my perspective or experience, firsthand knowledge, is not stuff I just read in a book, that I've seen nuclear facilities, I've seen international space stations, I've seen rocket launches.
Okay.
I worked in Silicon Valley for a very long period of time.
Sure you did.
Yes. Sure I did.
Well, I mean, come on, man. Look, like I said, one arm doesn't know what the other arm's doing. That's how they do this.
So I'm supposed to take you seriously, but you're not going to take me seriously. Is that how this works?
No, I think you'll find that I haven't posited anything positive per se. I'm just blowing holes in the official narrative. So actually, my position's far more tenable. Even though you think you've characterized me in a straw man fashion as a flat earther, I've never claimed to be that per se. I might do it loosely in one moment or so, but...
So if you're not arguing for flat Earth, then what are you arguing for?
I've told you this before, I've positively refuted the spinny ball Earth model, and NASA as an organization appears to be in the business of faking space. Elon Musk seems to be in that business largely as well. There's no real legitimate evidence that the 5G Starlink thing is what they say it is, and we don't know, and we have to admit that we don't know. Your tendency to believe in any of that means that you're in a less reasonable and less tenable position than me. That's what's happening, really.
So how does your mobile phone work? Explain it to me.
Hey, you can try and disappear off into another argument and try and discredit me if you want, but that's...
Well, you just mentioned 5G and you're saying it doesn't work, and I'm going like...
I didn't say that. That's a straw man. No, what you're doing is going straw man there. It's not about me knowing how 5G works. I didn't say that.
Rewind it 2 seconds ago. What did you say about 5G not existing?
I said that Elon... I didn't say that. I said Elon Musk's claims that what he's doing with Starlink is related to 5G, right? I don't
Yeah.
buy that narrative. Is what I said. It doesn't mean that I have to be an expert in 5G to not buy that narrative. To know the guy's an asshole and he lies about shit.
How do you know this?
Well, he's already lied and faked the space exploration with the fake astronaut in that car. That's how I know that.
There wasn't an astronaut in the car. It was a
fake
spacesuit.
astronaut. It was a spacesuit, yeah, fake astronaut. You know, the fake spacesuit, yeah, totally faked, a fraud, an absolute
How
fraud.
how did you prove that again?
Because I've already refuted the spinning ball Earth theoretically, because I understand the physics of water.
So because you say so, therefore it's so.
No. It's because you tell. In fact, I'll put the burden back onto you. Can you recreate the experiment whereby you can somehow magically get water to cling to a supersonic spinning ball? Because that would be science. Can you recreate that experiment for me, please?
I'm not a physicist, but I get your
Well,
point about
right.
centrifugal
So I know.
force versus
So that's where.
electromagnetism and
That's not-
gravity.
well,
And I
haven't
even
said
brought
that,
up
but-
earlier in this conversation that they haven't found this thing called a graviton. Like gravity's still a theory. So they don't actually know the difference between gravity, electromagnetism, and centrifugal force.
Look, I know, and look, you don't have to reassert your expertise and where you're bright, Joshua. And I'll just say, for the sake of the chat, and I'll step away from this now because I do want to get Icon and Wagon back in. I'll tell you what's happening here. You represent a position, I represent a position, and we're clashing. And like this is useful for people to actually bear witness to. This is hopefully eventful and useful. There's nothing personal with Joshua. I'm not in the game of I'm not actually going at Joshua. I'm going at Joshua's position. His designated position, I think, is less tenable than what my approach is. But it's not personal, and you don't have to. And I'm not trying to win a debate here by saying that, Joshua. I'm being real with you, brother. I'm like, this is okay
We're just
in
talking.
the arena,
It's fine.
right. So
but
that's
you can't just say something isn't true and then provide zero evidence for it, and then go off and accuse me of not providing some evidence when we're just having a conversation. And what I was trying to iterate earlier in the conversation is like, okay, I'm taking you seriously, and I'm going to let you explain to me how the flat Earth sort of thing works, and I'm just going to trust
but I haven't
that
posited
you believe that.
But well, again, that's a straw man. So don't trust that I believe that. I'm telling you how I've arrived at what I've arrived at.
Spinny ball, got it.
No,
we'll call it spinny ball instead of flat Earth. How am I supposed to characterize
spinny
your
ball?
position?
There you go.
Exactly?
That's all you need to know. Refuted spinny ball.
Sure.
Polaris.
But all I'm saying is I've seen two.
Well,
go ahead.
No, that's it. That's it.
Oh. All I'm trying to say is based off of the technology that I'm seeing currently and the space missions that are happening currently, I would imagine that the flat Earth people, maybe that's not you because you're saying you're not flat Earth, you're spinny ball. But either way, this should reinforce your position as they fuck it up, right? As they fail.
Fine,
or
but
they
fine.
succeed, which would then
Again,
cause. If they succeed, then wouldn't it be on you to have to acknowledge some of this stuff, even if they are liars?
Well, let me answer it in this way, and I'm not trying to squirm here. I'm being really deadly serious. In a way, some people think they've already proved their position with the space station until you realize that the space station is faked because there's evidence of them faking it. Now, it doesn't mean there isn't one, but it does mean that the one they propose there is, and certain footage supposedly from it is faked, right? Undeniable. So what I'm saying is if they go and fake the moon, to your satisfaction, Joshua, you might be like, there you go, flat Earth was wrong or whatever. And not that I have a dog in that particular battle, but you might say, you see what I'm saying? So, that's not really. It might seemingly prove your position, Joshua, but it won't really, unless we can scrutinize.
My position is halfway because. Go ahead.
Unless we can scrutinize the supposed evidence that they've actually done this thing. So that's not where the burden ought to be, Joshua, for anyone who's truly grounded and want to be convinced either way here. In all honesty, I'm not trying to say that. I know it sounded patronizing. I don't mean that. I just mean that's not what's going to do it. Can you refute the physics of water clinging to a supersonic spinning ball? And can you get there? Is Polaris a refutation against the spinning ball, the moving planet, right around around in orbit around the sun, at the radius they say we are away from the sun. Right? Do you think that's a refutation? I see that that's a refutation of the model that they've posited myself, and so that's where I'm
Look,
at.
I
Brother.
pointed out things that I think are suspicious or curious, like the fact that we haven't been to the moon in 70 years, or the fact that the technology has been destroyed and they're supposedly now building it. I, I think it is interesting, and I do keep the question in mind: what if? You know. However, I'm seeing hundreds of millions or billions of dollars being spent on going to the moon currently, and the plans that they have laid out are to build starships and bases on the moon and Mars with the minerals that they find there.
Fine.
And therefore, in the next 5 or 10 years, we will know definitively, one way or the other, who, and it's not even who was right, it's what was right. Right? You know, like, well, maybe they, because
I've already shot that down, Joshua. You keep saying it because you're already invested in that being your argument. We'll see either way. No, we won't
but it's
see either way.
happening. Like,
No,
so
they'll get better at lying about it, brother. They'll just get better at faking space, Joshua. What are you actually saying? That's not true. What you're saying. We won't know either way. We'll only know either way if people start using their brains properly and don't wait to be shown something that they could fake. Because that's the reason why people.
So have you ever been on a plane? Have you
Well,
ever
look,
been on a
hang
plane?
on a sec. Well, I was about to finish the point, and you can make that in a sec. That's why you currently
Go for
believe
it.
in a space station and the whole cosmos as you currently think it is. Go on. What's your question? Have I ever been on a plane? Yes, I have been on a plane. Apparently,
You have a phone.
I have a shit phone. Yeah, a burner
You
phone.
just got a new webcam.
Right.
We're talking across the Atlantic Ocean right now. So there's this thing called technology, right?
Right.
And it's getting better all the time, right? So
Right.
the point I'm trying to say here is, while our ability to make CG is getting good, our ability to do things for real is getting even better at a faster rate. And one is not,
well,
one informs the other. The art imitates the life, and life imitates art. These things
Well, yes,
inform
but
each other, and they both get better. It's not one or the other.
Well, hang on. I'll come in on that because it's a nice point you make. However, let me ask you this in return. See that image
Sure.
of Icon, and by the way, Icon, I muted your mic, by the way, brother. Sorry, because it had that little echoey sort of sound. Yeah, no worries. It was just subtle, but I just muted it. See the image of Icon there, Joshua. Can you be sure that that's not an advanced AI Silicon Valley replica of some footage they saw of him yesterday and a recreation of him in his situation?
I could verify if StreamYard's working or not. I can verify the DNS and all that sort of stuff.
But visually, because to your point that you just made, because we're getting better at seeing legitimate imagery and whatnot, at the resolution of Icon currently there, would you know that that's not a fraud? Even though you're advanced in being able to validate in the way.
Let me ask him a question real quick.
Right. Well, I'll unmute Icon. Hang on. Where's he gone? Go on, Icon.
What's happening?
Hey, Icon. What's the answer to life? What was the reason why everyone's here? What's the purpose of life?
We just ended up here and really don't have a purpose. We only have a purpose because we have a conscience that seeks one out.
So, Hiveless, how would I know that he was going to answer my question if someone was pre-doing this?
I didn't say anything about it pre-recorded. The state of AI as it currently is, it's adaptive and it can produce the effect of having a real-time conversation. Already, it's
okay.
proved...
So you're saying the technology is getting better and that we can do some pretty amazing things.
Well, I was pushing back on your point.
So it's real. It's not fake.
Evolve to... Well, the idea that we could evolve to be able to see with the limits of the limitation of the human eye and the human mind, be able to tell a fake from a replica, the idea that we can evolve in real time to meet the advancements in human computer technology is not true, Joshua. That was the point I was trying to make to you. I disagree with your point.
But you're saying that Icon could potentially be faked with Google AI and a deep fake, and therefore it seems interactive, but it's not, but it's actually technology.
I was pushing back on a point you were attempting to make. To be honest, I was trying to refute a point you were trying to make.
Which point was that?
That's why. I mean, I can't remember the exact point, but your point, the general point, was the idea that even if we could make advancements in technology so as to be able to fake going to the moon.
Art imitates life, and life imitates art.
Right, and our eye is necessarily improving at the same rate as computer technology. That's not true. I disagree with you.
But I mean, look at this. I'm just pointing out that the technology is advancing at a rapid rate. There is, if you were to go look up Google AI, they have conversational AI. They do have things like deepfake. That's showing that technology is advancing at a rapid rate. Why would it be so hard to think that rocket technology or shooting a rocket, which is basically a giant missile at the moon, would be so hard?
Well, that's not hard to imagine at all. In fact, rocket technology is undoubtedly improving, least of all in the sort of weapons domain. However, that's not the point being made. The larger point, like, because you chose to push back in the way you chose to push back, and I was refuting something to do with what you'd leveled. So
Sure.
of course, the problem there would be whether or not a rocket has got anywhere to go. Like, is space what they tell us it is? Well, we're at square one on that, aren't we? We haven't yet decided whether or not space is somewhere you can actually go.
So here's some common ground. I agree with you that a lot of these institutions lie a lot, and therefore you have to trust but verify, meaning that, which is just a quote. Another way to put it would be listen to what they have to say and then see what they do. Does their actions match their words, yes or no? And anyways, these things create artifacts like video and news broadcasts, things that we could actually look at and evaluate and get a better idea of what's what. And in fact, I think a lot of people are really good at spotting lies and seeing through the propaganda or whatever. I think that even Flat Earth is guilty of propaganda at times because some of those people, I think, are grifting, as one of your favorite words.
Yeah,
but they're very
I
compelling.
agree, by the way. Yes, I agree.
But they're
that
very
it's a-
compelling. And
Yeah.
you actually have to listen to what they have to say and go through the whole thing before you could really render a decision one way or the other. The same is true of NASA. The same is true of the U.S. government. Yeah, I would almost assume that they're lying to you and they got something bigger going on.
So why have
what
you
I
bought
can-
in? So why have you bought in, Joshua?
I've
That's the
been to a
question.
lot. I've mentioned it multiple times. Like, I've been to Lawrence Livermore Labs. I've been to Muppet Field, the International Space Station. I've seen the rockets launch.
But that doesn't
Like-
amount to real evidence to someone who's being really honest and critical about it. That doesn't amount to actual evidence that any of it's not a total grift.
It tells me that
It's not,
billions and billions
right.
of dollars are being spent on this. A lot of people are taking it dead
That's-
seriously,
Hey,
and
they're
that
taking it dead
there's a lot of
serious. Of course they
technology
are.
being rendered as a result.
but they would be taking the faking of it as seriously if they were faking it. And if you can concede that point, then hopefully
Yeah, but
you
if
can
you
go.
ever worked on a movie versus, you wouldn't have an International Space Station. You wouldn't have a military installation in charge of the nuclear stockpile. You
Look,
wouldn't
what I'm gonna
have
do-
soldiers.
Well, fine.
What you have
what I'm
are
gonna do is-
actors and security guards.
Well, look, what I'm going to do is, I know you could probably make a brilliant point here, but I've got to let's just stop this right now because I've got to get Icon and Wagger back in, mate. And we could go on forever, honestly. But I respect you, dude. But I think we've both pretty much made our points and stuff. We'll get into it again, Josh. I'm happy to have this talk or debate all day long, forever, honestly. But let's change the subject so everyone could get involved anyway, I guess. So respect, brother. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, nice one. Wagon, let's get Wagon in. What are you saying, Wagon? Oh, she's muted. Oh, yeah.
I unmuted myself.
Oh, yeah. I can hear your son playing computer games again. It doesn't matter.
What?
Or TV. Oh.
I was just listening to some music. It's okay.
Ah.
hmm
No,
I was amusing myself.
Well, I think you're still listening to music.
Yeah, I am. Let me pause it. Oh, you can probably hear something in the background. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, bollocks. Oh,
Music
there's
I
nothing
was
you can do
listening
about it. That's
to.
fine, honey. That's fine. That was what I was saying. I said it doesn't matter. I was just saying, is that your son? And yeah, don't worry about it. Honey, come back. It's fine. Well, all right, Icon, what are you saying, Icon? It's fine.
I was going to break in and say, and excuse myself, I was going to head on over to Ken's live stream for a little bit because normally
worries,
I'm
dude.
over there and then you come on and I'll drift over here.
Yeah, brother. You know what? I kind of it then worked out to get into it today. I do apologize. Thanks for riding shotgun. I hope you had an all right time, though, mate.
Perfectly fine, man. Perfectly
Much
fine. You
respect.
got to hash out what you got to hash out. That's cool.
Respect, brother. All right. Well, I'll see you soon, mate. Nice one.
Right on. Peace out, and you have a good one, mate.
And you, brother. Nice one. Well, all right. Let me ask Joshua sort of a less polarized thing, unless he might not be here actually. But there he is. So Joshua, on a lighter note, where are you at anyway with the channel? How's it going? Is it growing at all, or where are you at with that?
Yeah, I'm on my way to 2,000. So
Whoa, good for you, mate. Fucking hell. Haha.
so I'm at 1,800 now. So yeah, I mean, what I'm finding is content like this, the back and forth stuff doesn't stick very long, but the videos, which are like they're more documentary style, they last longer, meaning that they keep racking up views and likes over time. But
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
so a lot of my older videos are starting to really rack it in right now. And
Nice.
I'm trying to build like a 30 or 40, 50 video deep stack of stuff that kind of goes over various issues and just kind of let it live in the world and see if it grows on its own. And so far, it's been really good. It's just the problem is every time I touch the third rail, politics, Google strikes it down,
Yes.
or Facebook or whoever, and then they throttle your whole channel down. And the only real way around that is either advertising or to do something more like this, where you have a lot of content, so quantity over quality sort of stuff.
Right.
But what I'm finding is
Yeah.
that stuff is so short lived; it doesn't live very long. Like it goes
No,
in the memory hole.
yeah, and I was going to say, at any rate, the engagement, even though I've got a lot of engagement, the engagement from the outside world, it seems to be somewhat shadow banned by the algorithm. Like this should be more visible than it is to more people, given the sort of the the movements of it. But yeah, whatever they're doing, they're definitely stifling it, in my humble opinion.
The other thing is I think YouTube's taking the U out of YouTube, where they're
Oh
going
yeah,
to
well,
preferred sources,
of course,
and so
man,
they're
of course.
looking for approved vendors or not vendors, influencers. So either they're for the new
Yeah.
stuff, obviously they're going to the news channels, but they're even like getting rid of your individual personalities in favor of like Disney personalities or celebrity personalities that they promote. Like Will Smith seems to be blowing up all everywhere, but it doesn't look natural. It looks like they're just throwing Will Smith nonsense on everything with Oprah and or the Royals, and you're just supposed to deal with it.
Yeah, it's dead. It's totally dead, and there's not a viable alternative yet, so it's fucked up.
I mean, Rumble's okay, but they're doing similar things where they won't monetize the interesting content, and they're trying to keep it like topical with just random videos. I'm like, who cares? That's not why anyone's going to Rumble over YouTube. It's not for random kitty videos. It's for people to actually talk about what's up without being censored. You there? Hello? Something happened. Hello, hello?
Hello? Oh, it's working. Did Joshua drop out? Oh, right. What the fuck? Um, hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Shit. I think you can. What's Uncle Bones saying? Yes, yes, yes. We have a new leader. That lasted long. Well, all right, guys. It's been a good stream. I might as well close it down. I'll play the Egmont Overture for your enjoyment. I hope everyone enjoyed it. What does Dusan Chalvard say? Hi, B. I agree that they're throwing lots of money on the space illusion. Right on. Neither the spinning ball model nor the flat Earth model work. However, right on, brother. Exactly. That's why I don't positive model. Plasma moon map of the realm is interesting, but that's all I'll say on that. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is not a spinny ball, and that's why. And just so Joshua understands my energy there. It's because Joshua sort of is quite happy to paint a reality that's so in normie world in a way, even though he's not, because he's into the truth thing. But on that front, in terms of the space thing, there's so much about that I know is a load of bollocks now. Hello. Oh my God, my mic keeps cutting out. You know what? I think my computer's overheating, everyone. So I'm actually going to close it down now. But I was just going to say to finish the point, and I might keep looking in on this. To finish the point, there's just so much of that kind of whole worldview of basically the NASA projected solar system, university, fucking outer space bollocks that I just can't really tolerate, Joshua. That's all. So when you're sort of painting that reality, I'm just going to throw down. I might have been more polite the first time, but I just can't help it, mate. I just cannot tolerate so much to do with it. I mean, me and you could see eye to eye on many other subjects, and unfortunately, a lot of them we have to skirt around anyway because of YouTube and stuff. But yeah, just there you go. That's where I'm at, mate. But the spinny ball Earth is irreconcilable, unfortunately, and so so much of what they're so much of what you're throwing out there that you've got confidence in. I don't know, man. I don't. It's just irreconcilable. It doesn't work, unfortunately. But hey, as soon as you realize that the ball is a lie, you realize Elon Musk is definitely a bullshitter, literally bullshitter. The NASA are lying about essentially everything, and yeah, it's all a load of bollocks. Allegedly, I'm going to say, because you know what they're like. All right, guys, I might wrap it up. NASA is Nazis. Josh needs to hear it. Yeah, exactly. It's all good. We had a good debate there, Joshua. I thought it was fun. I know it got heated. I could tell honestly that Josh was a little bit aggravated in a way because I threw down, but it was nothing personal, mate. It's just trying to represent something that's not untenable. I'm not trying to represent a positive model. I'm just refuting shit that's being floated by the liars, mate. That's why my position will stand the test of the onslaught, brother. Oh shit. Oh, is it? Am I still here? Oh fuck. Is it still here? Oh yeah, it is. Right, the server looked like it was about to crash then, so I ain't fucking around with this. I'm actually going to close this down. Wagon Breath, sorry, I didn't know you were saying goodbye before. That was why I was just went like that. I thought you were just waving, saying hello to me. But Wagon Breath, sorry for not bringing you back in. That sucked. Icon, sorry for not bringing you back in. I wanted to get you back in. And Brandy, fucking hell. Me and Brandy got into it, actually. That was pretty fun. Everyone, Uncle Bones, it's been a good night. I've enjoyed it. Sorry I didn't get to any overture. And I was throwing down like a little bitch. But fuck it. Here you go. Apple. Oh yeah.
Bye.